the Hall of Fame. Big box, say yo.
Y'all must have forgot.
Y'all must have forgot. In the booties.
Attention. Friends came in at 1.
This is a mega.
It's a weekly wrap-up.
It's paydays.
Judge on the panel.
Very competitive. In the booties.
Jan!
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Lady Chann.
Fight.
Yo, how you going? It's Lady Chann, nonetheless, and welcome to the weekly wrap-up Shiggity show. I'm still not in my office. It's still bits and pieces. God, it'll be done, but it'll be done totally and fixed by tomorrow. But we are in the booties in. Ding, ding. What up, yo? Kaboom. Okay, guys, hope you have been good and great and fine and dandy and fine and great. Let me just do this. She is I and I am her. Oh, it's Jaron Boots. I hope you guys have had a great day. Then we've got a couple of things to talk about. Boots, Ennis, the next superstar. The next superstar. Question mark. Alan versus God. Yeah. Dave Allen. Come on, Dave, mate. Alan versus Makhmudov. I'm just learning how to spell this guy's name now. I've got it locked on. Makhmudov. There we go. I think that was all on that. That was the title. Okay, there we go. Save. Get that on. Kaboom. We're in the booties in. We know where we're at. We're at the weekly wrap-up. Shiggity word. Shiggity show. The booties in. So sorry, I'm not. It's not a cammed up show today, but just said my office will just be all sorted out in order. Bit got done today. It was a day delayed by the person, but tomorrow it'll be all done. Yeah, I hate things. Even my bedroom is just chaos. I hate chaos. I hate things out of place because it just makes my mind erratic. Anyway, so I'm introducing introducing it's AJAY all day. It's Alex. Ding ding ding. What up, though? Kaboom. What up, AJ?
Hello. What's going on?
Hello. Talk to me. What's happening? What is happening?
Oh, not much. Same old. Just Same old
Thanks
shit, different
for
day.
joining me. I know it's mad early where you are. I know. I've made the show 2.5 hours earlier because, yeah, Shan, I have to give myself a round of applause because guess what? I'm on UK time now.
Yes.
I'm
Very
going to
much
get on
so.
my time. But you know what? I'm going to do one out of the month weekly wrap-up show at the 5:30 Eastern. So I'll do one out of the month. That would be like that. So, yeah. So let's just see who we got in the chat. Oh, yeah. Let's do the members only roll call. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, AJ, I lost my manners. Come on, Shan. You got to do your members only roll call, girl. Let's get this off. Got so much junk on these tabs. Okay, so 1 second. Yep. Okay. Yes, Shani and the AJ show. The link is in the chat if you would like to join us on the panel. Yeah, by the way, all is welcome. So I shall tell you. Oh, yeah. So we have. Oh, how can I do it with the clapping as well? I can't. So I'm just going to shout you guys out because I haven't got a soundboard. I'm using just the one that's on my actual laptop program. It's Zara K in the Buddhism. AJ all day in the Buddhism. Queen that never fails. My sister Lisa Bales in the Buddhism. What up, Lady Chann? King Boxing in the Buddhism. Dr. P, Wales' finest. Carlisle. I was going to say Carlisle, Harleston. No, you're fine over there too, but you're actually Cardiff's finest. Shouts out to Dr. P in the Buddhism. Mark Niggity Nash TV. What up, Mark? In the Buddhism. We have Virtuoso. What up, Virtuoso? Is always in the Buddhism. We have Nesta Bedford, my New York guy. Yes, Nesta, you're in the Buddhism. Thanks for being always supporting the Lady Chann show. What up, Blood? What up, Gangster? Retro boxing and documentaries. Blood boxing is in the Buddhism. Where are you, Blood? You need to shake your ass or come on down here. The price is right. I haven't seen you for a little minute. My Harlem's finest, my sister R to the let in the Buddhism. What up, Arlette? What up, I love you, Arlette. We have also Vista Boxing. Mi hermano también is en el edificio. Ya tú sabes. And last but not least, he was the first member, el primero. Upload type el primero en el edificio. Ya tú sabes. That is right. Shouts out to all my motherfucking members. Round of motherfucking applause. Oh, we got someone else. I'm introducing. Introducing. It's introducing the fight. Ding ding, what up,
Bang bang, been a minute. You've been good?
What's up?
Joined us.
What's good, AJ? What's good?
We are here.
What's
We're in the
going
building.
on?
You know, let's just look in the chat and hail up the chat. So we got Donald Banks, DB. My boo, Lady Chann, where you been, my dear? How you doing? I know, DB. I know. I took a long break. I took like near enough an 8, 9, maybe even 10-month break. I did. It wasn't supposed to be like that. Initially, it was supposed to be like a couple of weeks. Then it was like a month. Then I contracted pneumonia. That took me out the game all to the first quarter of 2025. So I took out last year, and then I was supposed to come in from this year. And then, I got pneumonia. It was crazy. Yeah. But then I recovered, and then I was doing other bits and pieces, some bits of music, some recording, some life. So, you know how it goes. Yeah. So Shani's here. But I'm always here. I'm always around. I've done spot shows. I do some news reports. But, yeah. But anyway, thank you for coming through, DB. I missed ya. Nice to see you. 86 boxing. Lady Chann. That is she is I and I is her. Nice to see you, sir. We have got Esposes. Lady Chann, what it is. I haven't seen you in a while, sir. It's everything and nothing. You know how I do. Yes, everything and nothing. You can fit in whatever slot you want to fit in. But thank you for coming as well. Oh, there she is, Harlem's finest. It's her to the left. Press a like and subscribe. Yeah, please, guys, press a like and subscribe. Subscribe if you ain't. Don't be your little hate watching and don't be in your little clouds doing not pressing the like. I'm not pressing the like. I see what you guys are doing. I see it. YouTube tells us. Now let us see all that moving construction in the background. No. Expose. No, it's just some shit that, yeah. I just like it to look like how it was in the beginning, just a nice clean backdrop, you know. No, I had chest of drawers, like it was a 6 thingy long chest of drawers being built, so the drawers was here, this was there, this from another room was in that room because it was that my closet room got full, so we had to show. Oh no, and it's still in some kind. Now those are built and that's been moved to the closet room. But I've got there's still some stuff in the office. So, yeah. And I'm in my bedroom and that's still like, I'm looking around. I'm just like, this is like an assault course. But, you know, I'd rather do the show like this than not do the show, you know. So, what up, Bruce? Bruce Gas is in the Buddhism. What up, Bruce? I'm always here for you and you are here for me. Thank you for always coming through like the mugging woo. Yeah. She said applause. My sister that never fails is the queen. Come on, Lisa, Busy Bells. That's right. Donna Banks, you're laughing at me. Let's just go through. I just want to hail up everybody. Yeah, you guys are all hailing each other up. Guys, yeah, that's right. That's the channel link. Please subscribe. Just hit the subscribe. I'm actually going to put it on subscribers only in a minute for you to comment. So, you know, get them subscriptions up. Yeah, DB, get them up. Sorry, this thing, how they've got it. Yeah, if you want to hit the Cash App, you can. It is $Shannaholics. You know, Shannaholics. It's good to be addicted to something good. I would hope that I'm something good. So also, yep, this is the members only roll call, which we just did. So if you want to join the members only, that is the link. Our good sister Bales has all the links. So go ahead, click the link. Where am I with the I can't even see me. I'd be moving stuff around here. There I am.
Me bar rat brain splatter. What's the matter? Just start don't try move the body. Try scatter pick pattering up all over your body. Now you bruise and batter tap shatter. You never should do a lot.
Anytime I see them and you went up in that tata. Yeah, that you gotta go and check out that whole track. It's called They Could Be. Yeah, I actually came up with the concept of that video. You can hear my cat in the background distressing, all like doing stuff because there's so much things around. So he's getting into my business. Hey, Mosley. Oh God, here we go. What you say?
Tell Mosley has to come out.
Yeah, he ain't coming out. He ain't going nowhere. He's looking at me. You can hear us saying his name. He's lying on his stomach now. I lying on his side, showing his stomach and looking at me like, well, why is everybody saying my name? Yeah, this is the Discord link. The Discord is free. You guys need to get into Discord. It's a massive server where you can talk about stuff. It's free. You can post stuff. There's different.
Discord is popping. It's popping.
Yeah, man, it's popping. With Leon's got his daily fitness regime and how he lost a lot of weight, which he's done very well. Zoe, give you round of applause. You know, Leon's weight has lift the booty. Yeah, so yeah, and there's all different. We talk about obviously boxing. There's sports rooms. There's this. You can stream. You can PS5 stream. You can even hook up your Xbox and stream. Play and do whatever you want in there. So that is the link to that. That's the Shannaholics Discord. And those are Arlette and everybody just saying, yeah, Bruce Vane stays on everybody's necks. Listen, Linda, he stays on everybody's necks. Shouts out. Yeah, boy, Bruce, don't play, man. Oh, so we are going to start the show, I guess. I guess that's why we're here in it, to start the show.
Test your might. Test your luck.
So let's go.
Round 1. Fight.
Right, so as we can see, anybody that watched the Jaron Boots Ennis, is he the next superstar? You lot knew how I felt about him, because I was like, I am not staying up or setting my alarm to get up at 4 a.m. to watch no Boots versus Lima. That I didn't know who this cat was. You're stepping up to 154. You want to correlate that you're like a Terence Bud Crawford. Well, if you are that, sir, remember when Bud went up to 154, he went and fought a direct champ, undefeated champ, and took his belt. So if you want to tie yourself to Bud, you're going to have to do a lot of Bud-like stuff. And right now, you're not doing any Bud-like stuff. You're just capping.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
It's just, that's all that's going on. Yeah, that's all that's going on. AJAY.
Terrible marketing.
I don't need to save money. I want to put on good fights. So that was a good fight for the zone. So I'm disappointed.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, if I could just interject right quick, Chann, if you don't mind.
No, of course you can.
You know, I was right there with you. I didn't watch this fight. I pretty much I deliberately skipped it because I pretty much had an idea of how it would go, and I was pretty much correct. I figured it wouldn't go past like maybe 3 or 4 rounds. They got him out of there and won. And credit to Boots, he did his thing, of course. I mean, but then again, it's like, I mean, the way that people are reacting to this win, especially the commentators, to say it's bizarre, they're just like super bizarre is an understatement. I mean, like one of the comments, because I saw the highlights, I caught the highlights. And
Well, the fight was a highlight, wasn't it?
yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, like when the fight was over, like what, I don't know, less than 2 minutes, or at least 2 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
And then like one of the commentators was actually saying like, I think Jaron Ennis might be the greatest fighter ever, and I'm like, what the heck? What? I'm like, based on like what knocking at this guy? I'm like, what? I just don't like. Okay, come on, bro. Y'all need to calm down. And Eddie Hearn is kind of like, he's really blowing the trumpet.
I just don't understand why Eddie's doing this. Well, I don't.
I mean, like, call me. I mean, I wasn't around for this, so correct me if I'm wrong. But was he going this hard for AJAY when he was coming up? I mean, Anthony Joshua.
No, I didn't. He did, because you know what? The proof was in the pudding at the time. AJAY was taking the toughest challenges and knocking everybody out. And so this is why that's a good point that you made, because he didn't have to sell AJAY. AJAY kind of like sold himself.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
But when you see someone overselling, it makes you actually focus on the product a little bit more and be like, where's the bit that's broken then?
I mean, because like before Lima was decided upon, I mean, Eddie Hearn came up with a short list of like a few opponents that I actually found interesting that I liked. I mean, because I think it was like 6 guys, and like 4 of those guys out of the 6 were actually interesting. I think Jesus Ramos was one, Andreas Katsarakis was another, and I think a couple other guys that were actually decent contenders. You know what I mean? Right. That would have been interesting, but I guess those fell through, and I don't think it was ever explained what happened with those guys.
They didn't fall through, AJ. They didn't. That is a classic Eddie Hearn tactic. He lays out 6 or so opponents, and the worst one is the one that the fighter will fight. That is classically what Eddie Hearn does.
He always does do that. So if he mentions who they're going to fight next, and he gives you 4, 5 people, it's the last person.
Well, I mean, well, in all likelihood, like apparently this match was changed a few times because it went from being like a final eliminator to now he has an interim title. So I guess Abbas Baru is the WBA champ, which is kind of comical because he was the interim title list before, and then he was upgraded when Terrence Crawford dropped the title and beat Canelo, whatever else, and now they just conjured up one for this fight, and now it's Boots, and now he could, go into that fight next, which I don't have an issue with. But it's just that, like, win an interim title against this Lima guy. Well, I mean, I figured
He's
I mean,
lying. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like it's just so super bizarre.
So, I
Like
mean,
the way the way people are blowing up this win. Like he just knocked out like one of the top like the top two guy of the division or like the top guy of the division or something.
It's like you just won like you just did an undisputed run.
It's something, yeah. I mean, like literally, literally everybody's acting like he beat like the best guy in the division.
Yeah, I know. And then I know some people go, "Oh, why are you salty? Why do you sound like that?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not salty. I'm like, if you're gonna drag yourself to the level that you think that you're of Crawford, do like him then, because now that's why you're getting dragged like this."
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because like with Eddie Hearn blowing the trumpet is as hard as he is for Boots, it's like the least you can do is fight a guy better than a Lima. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is the whole point. This is my point. So to see Lima had one loss, right?
Yeah, he lost a guy named Aaron McKenna. I don't know who that is, sadly.
Aaron McKenna, that's a British guy, isn't it? Ain't that one of our lads? Aaron McKenna's one of our lads, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, he lost to him on points, like I think a few fights back. But yeah, but that's like, yeah.
He's
so,
on he's on a 4-win spree. He was anyway.
Yeah.
But to add a bit of balance to it, though, Shan, he did try to go undisputed at 147. He did. He did try.
He did. I give him that. Nobody wanted to fight him. A lot of people ducked him. I admit that. Barrios didn't want to fight him. Norman didn't want to fight him. You know, his apologists will tell you different. But no, Brian Norman was sent an offer and it was turned down. We all know this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for 1.7.
Yeah, which was ridiculous. So,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, he could have taken that fight. He really could have, but he didn't do it. And he got people.
Yeah, if you thought you could beat him.
Was that the one who was talking about taxes? He has to pay taxes.
Yeah, that bullshit. Like, are you serious, bro?
1.7, I think 1.7 at the stage of the career, that's healthy money, man.
But that was more than Chad.
I think he wanted 2 million.
You know what he got paid before? He got paid just over 100 grand in his last fight. In his last fight, he got that much. So that was like an exponential increase. That was like more than enough.
Because I think what they were saying, they wanted 2 million, so Eddie just to go up 300 Dower. But I mean, then do you think then Eddie should have just went, fuck it, let me just go?
No, because they would have just they didn't want to fight him, Shan. They just didn't want to fight him.
Exactly, yeah. They ducked him. They didn't want to fight. They priced themselves out. That's what they did. Classic. Classic tactic.
If we'd offered them that, they would have complained about something else. They would have complained about hotels. They would have complained about the time of the fight. They would have claimed about the date. They would have just found something. They weren't going to take it.
Yeah. Hit the like, guys, please. Don't try coming in not hitting the like or the dislike, whatever one you want to hit. Just hit one or the other. And when videos are posted, hype them up. Hype. Nobody. Yes, I do give him that. You know, but he could have did Virgil Ortiz, but no, Ortiz had left the division. Them two are both a mess. They both do their stupidness.
I mean, Virgil is running around with an interim title. Will probably he hasn't even used it as a segue to challenge Fedora yet. What are you doing, dude?
Yeah, running around with it and it's always like you're always running around with belts that are emailed to you. Now you've got this Ring magazine belt that mysteriously got backdated for when you was at 147 because according to Ring magazine, you versus Stanley Onus was number 1 versus 2. So now they've given him the Ring magazine belt. So now they're saying he's lineal, and it's just like this is bullshit.
Still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day. You just sit here, you don't know what I'm.
Yeah.
It's one of the most frustrating things about how America does things. They will not put their undefeated fighters against each other. Like you'll never get a Dillian White, AJAY Dillian White bout, like both with 10 and 12 fights or something. You just won't get that in the States. They want to save them, marinate to death.
Till the fight is expired.
And it's like you're allowed to lose if you take on dangerous fights and you put up a good account of yourself. If you're taking on a dangerous fight, who is going to hold it against either Boots or Ortiz if they faced each other and lost? Somebody has to freaking lose, and they're fighting dangerous fighters.
I don't know why it's so different. AJ, why is it so different in the good old US of A that you guys or you want to preserve O's and then try blame it on Floyd Mayweather. Well, if we're going to blame it and have call that the Floyd Mayweather effect, does that then mean that really he is the face of boxing? Because why is he
Floyd
been
Mayweather took on all comers, though. He
retired?
took on all
No,
comers.
he's been retired for 11 years, like from full level competition, pro competition. He's been retired for 11 years. So if everybody's talking about, oh, this is the Floyd Mayweather effect, who is the real? Who's the real face of boxing? Who is it?
Please get the fuck out of here, man. It's my night.
Well, I mean, because I think
Canelo's got losses and he makes money. Losing hasn't affected people. If you take on dangerous fights and lose, it's okay.
Yeah, and I think there's just this belief out here in the States to where like you can't lose that. Oh, it's a valuable commodity, and Floyd Mayweather is partially to blame for this. I do believe that, and a lot of people are trying to just replicate and emulate that, and as a result, a lot of big fights aren't happening. You know what I mean? They just don't want to risk. They don't want to risk the rose. I mean, whereas opposed to people from other countries, they don't care. It's like they'll risk the rose gladly, and if they get beat or lose, doesn't matter. I mean, it just because the thing is, what they don't realize is like if you take on a tough fight, you still lose. But if you put up a good display, your stock will still go up. And you'll still get good fights after that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, like, it really does not matter. I mean, because it's just like what Leon was saying. Like, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, but I don't know, man. It's just, oh God.
I don't know what's going on over there. Yeah, with all of this shit. It's just I'm just listening to the commentary, and I had the pleasure of meeting Adam Smith. But if I see Adam Smith, I'm going to say you again, like you call Boots. Have you noticed even his middle name begins that his fight name begins with like a B, like Buds? Like, is he crafted everything? I want my one to start with a letter B as well. Like your boots are made for walking. That's what you'll do. You're not fighting. Them boots, whatever boots you got, and they're not boxing boots. They're walking away high heel boots at this point. But what I was going to say is that Adam Smith is definitely called Boots. He is the best. Definitely pound for pound number one, the best superstar fighter in the world.
Oh my God!
We know that you're getting paid by Eddie, but come on, let's just stop doing this shit because you're giving casuals the wrong idea that this is this. I'm just like they thought he went up and fought Bivol and just got one undisputed. It's like they've acted like he's gone from 147, gone to 175, fought Bivol, knocked out Bivol in a round, and is now undisputed. That's how they was acting like after that performance.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get the hype, man. I mean, it's like, okay, guys, you need to calm down. He beat a nobody.
Yeah, let's wait.
Let's just chill.
Yeah,
let's see what else he can do. I mean, because I'm not hating on. I'm not trying to hate on Bruce at all. I mean, like, I want him to succeed. I like watching him fight. I enjoy watching him fight. Yeah. I mean, but it's like, but let's just wait and see what he can do first. You know what I mean? Let's not. No need to go crazy.
Jump off a ledge. Yeah, man.
It kind of reminds me when Ryan Garcia years ago, he knocked out a guy in a round. I forget his name. Maybe it was Francisco Fonseca, and everybody was like blowing the trumpet off that. You know what I mean? Where he'd already that guy had already lost like twice already. Tevin Farmer schooled him. He got knocked out by Tank. Now Ryan does him in a round, and like, oh my God, it was the same thing. And what has he done since? Hello.
Yeah, he's garbage. Super garbage. Yeah. Him and Tio, throw him in there.
But Eddie Hearn, man, he's really like just on the just.
But
he's really drinking the Kool-Aid from Boots, man.
Is it
he's doing his job.
He's going a bit extra,
but he's really going overboard with this.
Because now people are like want to watch you fail.
Yeah, I mean, because not people are really going to be keeping a close eye because, like, he's saying, like, he's listening. He beats everybody in the division. Do I think that? No. Do I think he could be something like most guys? Yes. I mean, but I think he's going to struggle against Backrum. I think that's probably his toughest test at this point. That's the part I really like to see.
What did you think of that rubbish call out? Like, yeah, I've got an announcement, and then you didn't announce nothing, and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, but we signed for Virgil Ortiz. We signed for him, and after he gets through with Erickson Lubin, then the fight. But then he's like, so. But if we don't get that fight next, we'll go for Murtazaliev. We'll go for who's the other lads at 154? Zayas. We'll go for. Do you know what I mean? And all that. I'm like, but I thought you said you signed, and then it's Eddie. You're getting caught up. You're getting caught up in the lies. That's what it is. You are getting caught up, and you need to be careful.
Is that we'll probably never know. You have to make your own decisions and judgments, which.
Yeah, and we know that the computer said that was a lie, Eddie. You're lying. You're lying.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Well, the lie detector says, yeah. It's a lot of filibustering coming from Eddie, and it looks. And I'm watching him going, oh God, Eddie, everyone can see you're lying. He's on Fight Hub and Fight Hype, and no Fight Hub, and Marcus Viego is just like looking like what? Like you could tell Marcus is like, you're lying.
He's setting him up to fail though, Shan. He's setting him up to the only thing you can do is disappoint people. He's setting him up that if he goes undisputed at 154 and then 160, people are going to be upset that he never done it in 147 and 168 because the way everything's going on.
Denmark Andy is in the Buddhism. New person.
Welcome, Denmark Andy.
What up, Denmark Andy?
I don't know. What up with you, man? How are you doing?
Oh my God, I know this guy. I've seen him on bloody Kendra G. No, not today. You can't. Yeah. I know you, Denmark Andy. I've seen you on Kendra G show.
What is the problem with that? I was just like talking to him.
Yeah, but this is a boxing show.
Yeah, but I'm not here to date or box you. What do you mean? I will box you. I will not kiss you.
No, but this is a boxing show where
you want to fight or what?
Oh God,
okay.
This guy.
No, what should I say? Like, I don't know.
No, we're talking about boxing, Denmark Andy.
You don't even have your camera on, man. Let me
But that's me in the picture. Like, this is how I am. Everybody knows this is just not a camera day.
Shy boy.
Shy boy.
But
Denmark
I
Andy.
box myself. Listen, I'm a boxer myself.
How are you? What weight do you fight at?
I am very tall. Skinny.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Look, skinny and tall.
All right.
The skinny and tall champion of the world. That's the weight class.
I do Muay Thai.
Oh, you do Muay Thai?
Yeah.
Do you
I also do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu I done too.
Okay, so do you fight at a specific weight?
No, I never went up to any competition. No.
Oh,
but
you
I
just
wanna
train.
hear you.
Just train.
Yes. What have you been do? You fight? For real?
No, I'm a boxing content creator and an analyst. So I analyze. Well, analyze fights. We break them down. We do predictions. I interview fighters.
How did you learn this? Why would you like to do this? Like, is your hobby?
Because I'm damn well good at it. That's why.
You box yourself?
No, I'm an analyst. I commentate. I'm an analyst. I do different things.
Yeah, but how do you learn it? Like, did your dad used to box, or how did you get into it?
I studied it from the age of 5 years old.
What?
I studied it from the age of 5.
How the fuck? How?
I know many of things, Andy. Many of things that you'll never know.
Your family, they go box. You say, "Oh, I come with you."
That's yeah. Maybe you could, Andy. I mean, is it Andy? Denmark Andy? Oh,
yes,
God.
Andy, not Candy. Yes.
No, Denmark Andy.
Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
It's all you have. It's violence.
Denmark Andy,
I'm a
wait
Christian.
till I speak to you.
God bless you. God bless you. Bye.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Bye. God bless you too. Bye, Denmark Andy. See you later. Denmark
What the
Andy.
fuck was that? What the
Denmark
fuck was
Andy is Buddhism. Wrap up shiggity shiggity word, shiggity shiggity. That guy is viral. I saw him a few months back, maybe even a few months back. You know, just randomly watching. Does anyone know the Kendra G show? I know Arlette does. It's a dating show of a woman in America, a Black American woman that does puts people together. And he came up, he beamed in on her show, and he was looking for dates or whatever, and he was doing similar to that. And she was like, and then he came back again, and everyone was like, "You're a troll," and he was like, "No, I'm looking." So as soon as I just saw him, not when I saw him down at the bottom, when I saw him come up and he started speaking, I went, what's the odds that you found me, Denmark Andy? You just like following black women around YouTube. Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah. And he went viral everywhere. So she made actually a whole show on him, like talking about him because he'd be doing the most. But he said
that was quite odd. That was odd.
Yes, yeah. So I don't know how he found here, honest and truly. But anyway, let's get back to the show. He threw me off now. Where was we? Yeah, so we was talking about
talking about Boots.
Yeah, we're here to root for you, mate. But no, naturally, I don't know if I'm here to root for you at this point, because what you did, you've been lying with Terence Crawford and you've been doing some fucked up shit. So actually, I'm not here to root as such. I'll give credit where credit's due when you actually do something good. Like, after this, who do you think? Do you think he does fight any of the champs? Or does he go Virgil, then champ?
Well, it makes sense for him to. Honestly, he can beat Virgil to the. I mean, honestly, I really don't have an issue with either option. He could actually, since he has an interim title now, he could use that to challenge Abbas Baru. I have no issue with that fight at all.
Yeah.
I'd like him to do that next.
Yeah,
or he could fight Virgil, but I'm not sure if Virgil would be receptive to that because he's got the Lubin fight coming up, which honestly could be a tough fight for Virgil. I'm not gonna lie. I'm picking him to win, but Lubin is that's not a cakewalk, So
that's interesting, man, because I would if anything,
I'm picking Virgil to beat him. But I'm saying it could get interesting. That's all I'm saying. So
Virgil stops moving. Virgil's massive.
I think so.
Virgil's a big lad for 154.
Yeah, but Lubin would he can make things interesting. He could.
Tricky.
So yeah.
He could be tricky. Do you think he'll do? Maybe he'll get stopped. But so Boots to fight Virgil next. I don't think that's happening, by the way. So
no, that's not next. That's not next. No. So I would target Abbas Baru if I were him. I mean, or he could take a because honestly I don't want to see another tune-up next. To be honest, he could, but it's like I'd rather just you have the interim title, so use that to fight Abbas Baru next. I'm sure Abbas Baru wouldn't have an issue with that because he needs a big fight and he's not with a big time promoter, so that can be done pretty easy in my opinion.
Yeah, you could, because who is it? Wasn't he with Wasserman? But he's not with them anymore.
I think so. Yeah. He was. Yeah. But he just said he's a free agent.
I didn't know about him though. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm introducing. 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 It's not Denmark, Andy, because I thought, oh my God, he's come back again. It's boxing beats and rhyme. Ding, 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 ding. Kaboom. What up, Beats? Come on, where's the vitriol? I know Beats.
Salute Beats.
What's up, AJ?
He's going to say, why are you not going against Boots? Boots did an outstanding performance. Go on, tell us, because that's what you said in your commentary. I heard it.
Beats, do you think they're going overboard with the Boots hype, man?
Boots is on Boots. I mean, Beats is got with Boots. He's like, yeah, that was a wicked performance. I'm not.
Well, it was like the thing is, man, you can't even celebrate a 1-round victory without like. Here's the thing with the media,
yeah.
The media basically are turning up to these events to tell you, oh, well, the guy was a bum. That was a bum. Why aren't you doing this? And like, they're not analyzing one punch that was thrown. They're not looking at the execution of the knockout. They're not covering nothing technical about boxing, but you're boxing reporters. There's something wrong there to me. You know what I'm saying?
If you're going there as a media, you applied for press knowing that it was a bum. So why did you go there just to say that? Yeah, I agree with that.
Was he a bum really though? Was he a bum?
No, I wouldn't say he was a bum. I would just say that he was just not an even matchup, and he was just an unknown. But I mean, I wouldn't say he's a bum. He's only got one loss, but he ain't really fought no. But who was the guy that he lost to?
Aaron McKenna.
Aaron McKenna. Look,
so that's one of our guys.
Lima's last 5 opponents have a combined record of 82-1. He went in 3 backyards and won in his last 3.
Yeah.
And he's ranked in 3 of the sanctioning bodies' rankings. So to me, it's disrespectful to call these fighters bums and terms like that. Like it's a like.
I just go to nobody. I would just go to, and I'll say he's an unknown. I don't think he's a bum. I thought literally when the fight got made, I thought he was undefeated, but then I learned that he's only had 1 defeat. I think Beats, the reason why people are in such uproar is that the shit that
Eddie Hearn overhyped
going on with the shit that Boots has been going on with, right? If you're going to tie yourself to someone that's great, then we're going to have to see you do the greatness. Because then if you don't, we're now going to key in on the shit that you're not doing. You can't say that you are as good as Crawford or better than Crawford, but you're doing everything totally different, but you're just clout chasing. So now let's see, if you're as good as Crawford, move up to 154 and fight an undefeated champ and take his belt. Then go undisputed.
Like who though? They're all tied up. Aren't they all tied up currently?
Yeah, well, you could have did someone better than this guy.
Well, Borchuk
a bit more known, I guess.
Borchuk turned down 7 figures to fight Boots.
Huh?
He turned down 7 figures to fight Boots.
Brian Norman did, yeah. He did. Brian Norman.
No. Borchuk. No.
Virgil did.
Sergei Borchuk turned down 7 figures to fight.
Yeah.
Boots.
Well, no, we did put context and say that
he turned down the fight too, right?
We've given him that grace.
Lima stepped up. Lima was very confident. That's why he got beat up like that, because he was so confident. He got arrogant, and he was very aggressive.
Yeah, I just thought this guy's going to get. I thought it was just that's what he was brought in to get beat up. Like just because he only lost once, I knew he weren't no world beater. Like I just knew. But I just thought, yeah, he's coming in to get. Didn't think it was going to be in 1 round, but I didn't think it was going to be, going down the stretch. And if it did go down the stretch, then I would say less about McBoots, to be honest. So it just wasn't enough to even analyze. It's just like.
Well, it wasn't really, man. Like if you break down the execution of the knockout, like the way he set up the first knockdown with the long left cross, that was a decoy punch, and then came back with that right uppercut for the southpaw lead position. I mean, like some of the stuff he was doing in there was like, and he had the perfect opponent because he got really aggressive. He got very cocky. And
I mean,
paid the price.
you're 35 fights in. So at this stage, this is why I'm not being a hater, but I'm just not impressed. If Boots that guy was 16-1 or 15-1, the guy only had 16 fights. You shouldn't be fighting a guy that's only had 16 fights and you've nearly had the same amount of fights as Crawford. Come on. You ain't
Makhmudov at the same weight's got less fights than him and gave Terence Crawford a good
what
fight.
was the difference?
The fight before Crawford fought Canelo, he fought Makhmudov, who's only had 11 fights.
Yeah, but what was the difference? It was that Makhmudov was a champ.
Amateur career.
His amateur career, and he was a champ.
Who's Makhmudov fought?
That's not Terence's fault. He was a champ.
Who did Makhmudov fight before he fought Crawford?
But if you want to get a belt, you just go for the champ, and he was the champ. The end. It don't matter if the champs had two fights. Like if he was a Loma, trying to make him a Loma on his second or his first fight and get a title, that didn't work. But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Terence can only go for who the champs are. Just as like Canelo could have only gone for who the champs were on his undisputed run. We can critique them up from left, right, middle, center, whatever. But at the end of the day, they were the champs.
All right, so who else was available for Boots to fight then?
There's other people that you could have pulled up that had more fights and a bit more experience. Maybe a former champ, maybe something. You're getting paid $3 million a fight. and you're going into it's not good enough, and you've got 36 fights behind you. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Because we were saying this about Wilder. Wilder didn't step up until this 31st, 32nd fight. How comes we was all berating Wilder, but now with Boots it's okay because he's with Eddie? No, it's not. It's trash. It's trash. So let me get the trash symbol out here. Sorry, guys.
Boots is a unified champion.
And Wilder was a long-term reigning champ, but it was still trash.
I mean, for some context, I think it's more, the issue is more Eddie Hearn overhyping him. I haven't got a problem with Boots saying he's better than anybody, because boxers are supposed to say that. You know, they're supposed to say that. You put some self-belief in yourself.
But he's a clout chaser and a liar.
Didn't Bob Arum say that Lomachenko was as good as Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, but we know that's a load of bullshit, and we drugged him to the depths of hell for saying that. No. I keep saying energy. You got dragged to the depths of hell when Bob Arum said that. And when Bob Arum said the shit about Terence Crawford, he got dragged to the depths of hell. When I keep it consistent. Like, if Eddie's going to come up with some bullshit, yes, we know you promote him. But listen, I said this when they was trying to attach his name to Terence at 147. And with all this rubbish and him and Virgil, and they had the opportunity to fight Bud, they both turned it down, but yet they were still trying to attach their names until Bud pulled up on Dude, and Dude he just walked past Bud. Okay, we thought that was the end. You got one of Bud's old belts. What did he get? The IBF. You know, here you go. You get an old belt, and then. After this, I knew once he moved up, I did a show about a month ago, maybe even a month and a half. And I went, as soon as Boots wins this, when Crawford wins this Canelo fight, I said, they're going to go right back to attaching their name to Boots. Didn't I, AJ?
You said that? You did?
Yeah. And lo and behold, maybe even 2 days before the Canelo fight, you saw the seed being watered. And as soon as Bud won, the next day Eddie Hearn was like, or 2 days, we've got the next Crawford here, and it's just been ramping up week by week, and I find it disgusting. No, you ain't.
Didn't Brian Norman price himself out against Boots?
We called him out as well.
We said that.
We already called him out.
You couldn't get no more scraps at 147 because Brian Norman priced himself out. So what's he supposed to do really then?
No, I did say that. I did say that, Beats. I did say
we pointed that out before you came on. We did
to go undisputed.
How should they be promoting? What should they be saying? Well,
Eddie should promote him.
He's got potential.
Yeah,
but you don't say that. That doesn't get you anywhere. You can't.
You can't.
The best. You don't say he's got potential. Where's that going to
No. You could say just no. I wouldn't care if Eddie Hearn said.
I wouldn't care if Eddie Hearn said he's the best fighter. Where's that going to get? That's not promotion.
No, I appreciate it.
Wait. Let me just get this out. If you're paying your fighter millions and millions of fight, and then you're going to put, he's got potential. You can't do that.
No, you can't
do that. To the maximum pitch.
Yeah, no, you could say that you've got the best fighter in the world when everybody could, with deductive reasoning, know that you ain't, because the best fighter in the world is Terence Bud Crawford. It's clear. But I'm not expecting him. But Eddie talks.
But then you get scrutinised for your choice of opponents.
Hang on, Leon. Eddie does a lot of double talk where he said, what does he say? That, from 147 all the way to 168. Boots beats them all. Maybe not Crawford, but I believe he beats Crawford. How does that make sense? You just can't it makes sense. You're just chatting shit.
I don't need to save money. I want to put on good fights. So that was a good fight for the zone. So I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I'm disappointed as well.
Luke's been knocked out a couple of times, right?
Yeah, no, and I'm not high on Luke in anyway.
Potential. He's fighting Virgil. Fundora pulled out against Thurman. 38-year-old Thurman. And then made all types of excuses not to fight Crawford.
Yeah,
right?
He's dead. Mm-hmm. We know.
So
we call it.
Who is fighting killers in that weight class?
We call it across the board. Everyone that you've mentioned, they're all supposed to be, like you would say, they're all in Dunnersville. Like all of them, everything that you said there is correct. But what I'm saying is, I've seen the tactic, and we called out the tactic when Wilder and Fury was doing this to AJAY. And why is it while we called it out there, now calling it out here is not the way to do it?
Ducking, though? Who is Boots ducking?
Well, he could have did. He could have did the Terrence Bud Crawford fight at 140 at 147, or he could have went up to 154 ages ago.
I'm talking about 154 currently now. Who's he?
Yeah, he could have went up. He could have when Bud was at one. He could have went to 154. If you really want Bud, this is what I would respect. Just go to 160, my guy. Just go 160 because you know Bud's probably going to land there. Or try and get yourself within WBO title contention where you can just be, and then go up to 160 and challenge if Bud's coming down. Like, try and lock Bud in that he can't ignore you any further. He hasn't done that. All they've did is stand from afar, say that they're the same as Bud, and ain't done nothing to fight Bud. It's pathetic. You're not doing nothing. You're not Bud. You ain't doing what Bud does. So stop saying you're like Bud. Just do your own.
Bud for a long time wasn't getting the opportunities.
Yeah, but Bud didn't clout chase. He didn't say that he was like this one. He was like himself. No, it's not so what, because you was there 5-6 years ago when Wilder was doing it to AJ, and you wasn't saying so what. So keep the same energy.
No, I don't care if he clout chase. I
do. So that's why I'm saying it.
Let me get my thought out. I don't care if he clout chases. What pisses me off is when he had the chance to get on the zone, to get that undisputed fight, and then turned it down and still run his mouth. That pissed me off. You can clout chase all you want. What does it mean? It don't mean nothing. Unless you're backing it up with wins and belts and straps. Wilder's never unified a belt in his life.
No,
that's what.
At least he fought for his first belt. At least he fought for his first belt. At least it weren't emailed, and I can't stand Wilder. But facts are facts. At least they weren't them belts. That belt weren't emailed.
Still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day. You just sit here and you don't know what I'm.
Yeah, Wilder fought for a belt. Boots didn't. He got the belt handed to him, and then he unified with Stanionis. So what I'm saying is the clout. It's lame. It's lame. Don't say you're the best,
isn't it? That happens a lot. That's what happens in modern day boxing. Belts are handed to people. That's not a result of boots.
Yeah,
that's a result of modern day boxing.
Yeah, which is the bullshit. So that's not really in his control. No.
And then when he did unify the strap, they said, "Oh, the guy's inactive and he's too old."
No, I was actually. I thought that was good move. I appreciate.
I thought it was a good win.
Yeah,
you know,
I've never demolished that win at all. I'm not one of those fight fans.
Because if we're being critical, we can say, "Oh well, Canelo is not the same version of a few months or years back that Crawford fought, or he struggled against Makhmudov and maybe Makhmudov won." We could tear down anyone's resume.
Yeah, everyone's resume could get teared down by that.
Tear down if you know what to look for and know what to say.
Boots' one can be teared down because if you're really into boxing, you know he ain't fought no one in those amounts of fights. He hasn't fought no one. He hasn't. Like, we can't lie and sit here and just be like, "Oh, he hasn't."
They say the same about Crawford. They say Crawford.
And why didn't Crawford? But even if you look at Crawford's resume, like it wasn't the I think the stellar names, but they were still stellar fighters. Crawford, you know that Crawford shouts out boxing. Crawford for all undefeated champs. You know that Spence had the names, but everybody got Spence.
What do you mean by that? What does that mean? What does that mean? What names?
Hold on, B. You lost me, but then you're over me.
What names?
Spence had the names, the marquee value names on his resume.
Like who? That don't mean that you fought great fighters. All right, so when Trevor Berbick beat Muhammad Ali in 1981, was that the same as beating Muhammad Ali in 1970? What names?
No, but they were. They were marquee names at 147 that Crawford didn't have.
Promotion or outlet in his country. And whoever Bob Arum put in front of him, he beat.
Yes, but you're the one that's going on like I'm saying anything different. I'm saying that Crawford, when people said that Crawford didn't fight anybody, those are people that don't know boxing. Because Crawford, when you look at Spence's resume and Crawford's resume, which we did a deep dive here on this show on Shanalytics, Crawford has beaten all undefeated champs. Go and look at Spence's resume. Never taken a belt of anybody.
I just heard you say Crawford didn't have stellar names. I just heard you say
but
that.
I'm saying people say that. You said that. People say that with Crawford, but it's not the same as Boots. It's not the same with Boots. Boots ain't fought no one. That's the difference. If you know boxing, you know that Terence Crawford was under being blackballed and having a smear campaign, because if you know boxing, you know that he did fight people, and you know the context of why he couldn't get the other people to clean out that division, but it didn't matter because he still achieved. So those that know boxing know the story, and those that know boxing know the story that Boots ain't fought nobody with fighting 35 fights.
Bud has achieved more, but
we've got the boxing
achieved more. But Boots is an excellent fighter. He's an excellent fighter.
Nobody said he was rubbish. Nobody said he was rubbish.
If I may.
What that boxing chief? Boots not acting like I said Boots was rubbish. He's not rubbish. He's not rubbish. I didn't say Boots was rubbish.
Right. Both things can be true at the same time. Just because Boots has not fought anything overly elite yet on his resume does not mean we can't tell by the eye test that he's a special fighter. And one day we'll be able to approve that. Well, should is the word. We can't say will. Should be able to prove that when given the proper opportunity. We can say that. We can also say that there's no way that you can say that that Terence Crawford, at this point now in his career, after everything else he's done, is unaccomplished. Even if you go back to the fact you put in Ricky Burns and people say, well, who's Ricky Burns?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, just a 3-weight champion, just a 3-belt champion. You know, people could say, well, yeah, it's easy to do in the 4-belt era. Then how come you don't have more people like that?
How comes everyone ain't else done it then?
Right.
This is my whole point.
This is what I've been saying for years about Terence Crawford. You know, when you talk about Ndongo, well, he really wasn't that good.
He was undefeated. He was unified.
Undefeated 2-belt champion.
Stanionis was a really good fighter.
Who else?
And we gave credit to that. That's what I'm saying.
I give credit to Stanionis also. I think that people saying he haven't fought anyways, forgetting the fact that people were thinking that Stanionis was being ducked by everyone in the division.
He just took step-aside money for 5 years. That's all.
Yeah, and it was kind of forced step-aside money because Al had a monopoly on the, WBA. Who
WBA wanted. Yeah. So the point is,
what benefits Al? That's what it stands for.
BBC
What benefits Al Heyman?
So this, like what Boxing Chief said, I'm not there with the eye test. I think Boots looks like a really good fighter, but there's something that maybe we don't know why it's been so slow that at 35 fights in or 36 fights, whatever it is, right? You're nearly 40 fights in, and you ain't really, if you know boxing, he ain't fought no one. I'm not saying it from a casual standpoint. He hasn't fought no one. He ain't.
He has fought people, man.
Stanionis is a very good.
Stanionis.
And maybe 1 out of 30-something fights may not be enough for some people.
Yeah, 1 out of 35 fights, ain't for you to then say he's pound for pound definitely going to be a pound for pound number one. Well, the numbers don't suggest this at this time. So I would just like to reserve judgment and wait. And when he does do that, I'll be the first one to say, I always give credit where credit's due. I'm just not giving the credit before it's due. Sorry.
One thing that I didn't like that he's been receiving that I want to make comparisons to a limit. There is a cutoff point to this comparison.
Mm-hmm.
When Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones turned pro and they were fighting absolute nobodies all the way until they got their title shot, with the except Roy did fight Jorge Vaca, and Castro, so he gets a little bit more of a grace period. But neither one of them was unproven and still kind of green. And Vasquez and Vaca was shot. So, but those were the only 2 names he fought before he got a shot at Bernard Hopkins. Floyd fought absolutely nobody before he got a title shot, and nobody said, well, I don't know about him. Everybody was believing the eye test. And Boots, on the other hand, has been getting, well, he hadn't fought anybody. Well, he hadn't fought anybody. Even when he was still a prospect coming up, well, we really don't know how good he is yet. So the eye test wasn't good enough for him, but it was good enough for the other 2. Now, the other 2 went on to accomplish great things, and Boots is early in his career. And he's early in his career. And by the time they had 30 fights, they had accomplished more than he has.
Of course.
So like I said, there is a cutoff. There is a cutoff.
And
but
look,
the point I like to make though is, and I'll finish real quick. I like to finish this point real quick, is that the eye test alone hasn't been good enough for Boots, and I'm kind of just asking everybody else that says that. Why is that? Why was it good enough for Roy, good enough for Floyd, but it's never been good enough for Boots?
Because they fought champions.
Eventually they did, but when they were getting the hype coming up, remember Floyd didn't fight a single contender before he got Hernandez. And there was still all this hype and all this hype and all this hype. He's going to be this great. And then with Boots, it seems like ever since I've even heard of his name, no one's been putting the same hype about him. Now, by the time he had 35 fights, like I said, there's a cutoff to this. By the time he had 35 fights, it's about time okay, you're no longer a prospect. You're now in.
You was already a world champ, a unified champ. So
yeah,
it's like you were.
It's time to prove it now. I'm just saying the build up to doesn't seem nearly the same. I'm not going to do that. It's not fair because boxing's not fair. So I'm not going to play that card. But what I am going to say is you get this for some guys that showed the same promise, but you didn't give it for this guy. And I just want to know why people did that. I don't care about the fairness. I just want to know what everyone didn't jump on the same bandwagon at the beginning like they did with those other two. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's that, like you said, the numbers ain't numbering at this stage. You've become a unified champion. We know how the dice was rolled that you couldn't unify the division at 147. So we give you credit within that department and within that division of 47. Now that you've been unified at 47 and you go up to 54, now you could have fought Bakram. Thank you, Ricky Murtazaliev. You didn't choose to fight him. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know if Bakram didn't want to fight.
Bakram been trying to fight
that could be
the guy from Sunderland across here.
Okay, well, like I said, that could be that Bakram didn't want to fight. Who knows? But my whole point is, guys, and Boxing Chief, is that if you keep tying your name to someone that's great, we are now going to look at you to see the greatness. I was high on Boots before he did Stanionis, before he got that belt from Crawford.
There's no need to do. He's not as good as Terence Crawford. Anyway, that's just basic boxing knowledge. He's not as good as Terence Crawford.
No, it's not about
his accomplishments by themselves. Him standing by his own. You can't compare him to Terence Crawford.
No, but so therefore they should.
Boots is not an all-time great.
Well, they should stop comparing themselves to Terence Crawford. That's my whole point. Stop comparing yourself, because there's no comparison. And
I don't even listen to that though, because
that's coming from Boots.
That's basic deduction. That
no, but it's not basic deduction. When the casual fans watch that and hear Eddie Hearn chiming in, talking about every minute tying his name to Crawford when you had the chance to fight Crawford and you didn't. And Virgil Ortiz, that goes along with you because you ain't done shit either. So this goes for you as well. So what I'm trying to say is, before he did all of these accomplishments, I was high on Boots. I was like, yeah, he looks like he's going on a certain trajectory. I get it. If you want to say the eye test thing, the lad looks good. My critique was he does get hit quite a lot. So he is a bit defensively irresponsible. Get it? I got it. But then, like I said, you tied yourself just to bring up your marquee value to someone like Crawford. Now we are now going to say, okay, let's see you do the Crawford stuff. Every division that you step up to, you need to go and fight a champ. Every division. We don't need no 2 tune-ups. That's why Turkey Al Sheikh said, get on your bike and get the fuck out of here. It's my night. See you later. I ain't funding that shit. Leave that shit to Eddie. That's what he did. We got another person in the building. We have FaZe. Let me give you the round of applause. Sis, I'm not connected to my roadcaster, so calls can't come through. You can come on the panel, sis, because I'm not in the office. Yeah. So do you understand what I'm saying? Like, even Turkey Al Sheikh said, enough. We tried to do the Ortiz fight. You lot both ducked each other. I don't know what happened there. And I ain't paying. I ain't bankrolling. No 2 tune-ups. So if you're tying yourself to somebody that didn't do tune-ups, then we're going to have to see you not do the same thing. You've got to do what Crawford did. You've got to move up divisions and fight a champ every division. Crawford did it. and then he's done it again, and he's done it again.
Turkey afforded him the opportunity. That's why.
It's not that he wasn't afforded the opportunity. He was afforded the opportunity to fight Virgil Ortiz ages ago. They was both afforded the opportunity to fight Crawford ages ago. They both turned down the fight. But after they turned down the fight, everybody that watches boxing that's on this panel still saw them still saying they want to fight Crawford. They want to fight Crawford. Crawford's ducking me. This is this. We saw it. And we saw Eddie do the same thing. Now, Eddie has already known that this is a disgusting tactic to do because he was the first one that was vocal that Wilder and Fury was doing this to AJ. And he hated it. But now what he's done, he's adopted it. And it just looks weak. We wouldn't have been comparing and we wouldn't have been this hyper vigilant about watching every little step that Boots did if they wasn't capping. Simple as. We would have just let him go in his trajectory and then we would have said, yeah, he's building up. But you can't go to the top and be unified at one division saying that you're better than Crawford or you're as good as Crawford, right? And he beats Crawford and then you need 2 tune-ups. No, that doesn't work. It don't work. We don't believe you.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
We don't believe you. That's the whole point.
A fair statement is that Crawford didn't need it. He went straight after titles at 140 when he left 135. He went straight after a title, regardless of the fact of what you think about Horn. He was a sitting undefeated champion. We're not going to put a lot of stock in that, but he went straight for a belt. He went straight for the only belt he could get because we all know, as Lady Chann alluded to, Al Heyman wasn't going to give him a shot when he first went to 147. So he had to go and the exact words were, go win a title first. He did that. And they still had to sit on the shelf for almost 3 years before they finally put him in just with Porter, let alone Spence. So, but the point is he fought the first and only champion he could get his hands on when he moved up to 147. Second, he moved up to 154, Madrimov. And then second, he goes up to 168, Canelo. He didn't take any tune-up fights. Every last time he moved to a division, it was straight into a championship fight. Now, the counter argument was made, well, he had the opportunity. Okay, well, do we know the fact that Turkey wouldn't have made a title fight for Boots if he really wanted it? Do we know? Because Turkey's not worried about making a profit. It's obvious. He's had pay-per-views that did not make money. So he's not worried about throwing money out to make something happen. So did they really go out of their way to say, hey, we want to make a statement, get us the toughest competition you can find at 154? We don't know that. So I'm not going to say that it wasn't going on behind closed doors. We just know that the end result was that's not what happened.
We just know that Turkey came out on Twitter and said, I'm not bankrolling no 2 tune-ups. I ain't doing 2. I ain't doing 2. Maybe he would have been down to do 1, but he specified, I'm not doing 2. So if you can't do that, then I'm not paying for it. So if you are that great, how about you just say, Turkey, guess what? I'm just going to do 1 tune-up then and then go into a big fight. If you really want it, that was what was on the table because Turkey came out and said it. But it wasn't what you wanted. You wanted to clout chase. And as soon as Crawford beat Canelo, you lot went right back onto he's better than Crawford or he's as good as Crawford or he's the pound for pound number 1. When it's just not true. We wouldn't have been watching you this hard if you wasn't doing this. Stop tying your name to bullshit because we can see the bullshit that you're doing. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, if he didn't do that, I wouldn't have that much critique. Actually, I would be at this point be saying, well, maybe you should step up now, 35 fights in, because I just keep the same energy. I said this about Wilder. Wilder was 32 fights in before he done fuck all. So why am I calling out Wilder, but I can't call out Boots?
Because Boots fought way better opposition before he fought for a belt than Wilder did. Let me tell you that now.
That could be so, but the resume is still going to be resumeing. It still tells us
Boots didn't have the same resume as Wilder on his come up. No way.
He got one gifted belt. He got one gifted belt. Wilder didn't. As trash as he is, he got one gifted belt. Wilder fought Bermain Stavern. You say what you want about him as a champ or whatever. That Bermain Stavern, he fought a champ. Boots has fought one champ. If you take away the belt, the IBF, that was
the fight with Costio Clayton. That was supposed to be a good fight. He destroyed the guy in a couple of rounds.
He did.
Right?
He did.
Guys like Thomas the Lawmate were better than the guys Wilder were fighting on the come up.
They were.
Boots
They
was
were.
the first
But they still weren't.
Island
Yeah, but they still wasn't
he fought
champs.
better people than Wilder did.
Yeah,
He
he
fought
did.
better
He
people
did.
than
But
Wilder.
I mean, what the history books will say is that Wilder fought an active champ for the belt.
Wilder waited
Whereas
until
Boots' one will say
Wilder
he
waited
got it
until
emailed.
Klitschko retired and then beat the guy who got the vacant belt after he retired. Why didn't he go? Why didn't he challenge Batali for the WBC strap?
This is what we called out. But on the record, Wilder still beat a current active champ for the belt. Boots has beaten one current active champ for the belt. The other belt was gifted. If that gifting did not happen, he's fought one current active champ. And we give him that, we give him those plaudits.
Wilder avoided an opportunity to fight Vladimir for undisputed, and Shelley Finkel said, "I'm not going to rush him. He's still a baby."
We know, but
So,
I
don't think it's a good comparison. Wilder,
it is a good comparison. They both clout chased of who the dominant force was in boxing at that time. At that time, it was Anthony Joshua, and at this time, it's Terence Bud Crawford. You don't see Conor Benn, you don't see all of the other lads clout chasing, attaching their name to Crawford. You don't see it. You can only see Boots doing it, and he's actively involved in doing it, and Eddie Hearn's actively involved in doing it.
Conor Benn's resume is nowhere near Boots. Conor Benn don't have nowhere near the resume as Boots.
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is neither did Boots at the time when he first started attaching his name to Crawford. Neither did Boots. That's the whole point. We only know about Boots. We was knowing about Boots. Yes, we was like, look at this new kid. Yeah, he switched hits. Wow, he's actually had quite a lot of fights. He was down with Showtime, not attached to. Then he said, I'm a PBC, I'm a Showtime fighter, so we're gonna have to leave it to Showtime to do my stuff. You left it to Showtime. Showtime left you on the shelf. Eddie came and rescued you. Now gives you $3 million or the whatever guarantee per fight. Realizes that the money ain't money in, but you can't go back on it. At least Crawford was worth the money, even though Bob came out and said he wasn't, but yet re-signed him. So that doesn't make sense. So we swiped that away. What I'm saying is Eddie's in the hole, and instead of just trying to cut ties, he's slicing his nose off to spite his face because he's already in it. So you may as well keep going. I bet you if there was an audit on Eddie's books, I know there's a deficit on him signing Boots. I know, $3 million a fight, and come on, stop it, come on. In the end, that's why the numbers for the tickets. If Boots was this big, massive seller and this big PPV guy, outcomes only 6,500 versus the last two Philly fights he had was full capacity at 15 and 17,000 people. Because people are starting to realize this ain't shit. We don't care about no Lima. You ain't fighting no one, and that's it. I'm not lying. The numbers is telling the truth.
Well, next time you'll have more than 6,000 at the Wells Fargo. I guarantee you that.
It depends who it is. If you're gonna fight Heinz baked bean can, you're not. You're definitely not.
So what is the next fight actually for him?
I was about to ask that myself. I've been like, Beats, what do you think?
Chat in a minute. Go ahead. You guys.
Well, supposedly Turkey really wants to make that.
With the politics, it's unpredictable, isn't it? We just have to wait to see what Eddie announces.
I mean, do you think he should go after Abbas Baruch? You think he should fight him next? And I think that could be a good shout.
I would think that's a very smart move.
That's not a smart move.
It's risky but smart because he's based off of eye test. Based off of eye test, this is a beatable opponent. There's the intangibles that we don't know till they get in the ring.
High risk, low reward. I know, but
you can say that. You can say that, but once he does this, right? Once he does this, he puts himself on the bargaining chip table of saying, "Here I am," and now I fought a guy that nobody else wants to fight this guy. So if he actually goes ahead and does that, says, "Okay, I just beat a guy nobody else wants to fight for high risk, low reward," and now on top of that, I've said I'm the best, and he can stand on his ground of hyperbole of saying, "I really am the best," and it may not be hyperbolic, but it'd be a point to where it either is or it isn't, and we can debate that, which starts interest, which makes people want to see him fight, and which makes the other people say, hey, I'm not going to get a money fight unless it's through him in this division, and that starts things going. Sometimes you have to take the risk. Floyd took risks when he was young.
This is what I'm waiting for. It seems like all the risky fights he's just seemed to have avoided.
Well, let's be realistic about one thing. He's not going to get Fundora. He's left with the PBC's banner or anything else like that, so he's not going to get Fundora.
No, Fundora's going to hold that belt hostage. I mean, in all likelihood, if this Keith Thurman fight goes through, and I'm picking Fundora to win that, but if that happens and he wins, Fundora's in all likelihood probably going to vacate and go up to 160 because he's not going to unify defend that belt against anybody worthy. Let's be real. So,
well, let's pretend for a second he stays there for the next 10 years. He's still not going to fight Boots because that.
Hell no, he's not. He's not going to unify. He's not going to unify or go undisputed at all. So that's a problem right there. So that's
like you said,
an obstacle.
Belt's
in his way.
hostage, and it's not. I'm agreeing with you.
And that's not Boots' fault. Yes,
right. So we move away from that one. We don't even consider that a relevant possibility because it's not, and it's not due to anything that Boots is going to do or his people. So that one's off the table.
Right.
So you still have the other two belts left, and then there's still, if you can get anybody out, like you get Ortiz involved in it, also to get a belt shot at one of these other guys to get a small round robin to where you get it to like what they did with Hopkins and Trinidad. That was basically, it was a quote unquote tournament. It was a Hopkins Trinidad preliminary is what it was. Everybody knew that Trinidad was going to, if he especially fought Joppy, he was going to win. And everyone knew that even though Hopkins wasn't looking great all the way up to that into his career because he started to look close to his age, everybody knew he's still going to beat Keith Holmes. And we knew the top two guys were going to be Hopkins and Trinidad. That's how it was in real time during that time. It turns out Hopkins surprised a lot of us. That being said, we can do the same thing here. Because at the end of the day, most people are going to say the end goal is more likely going to be, if you put these guys in together, is going to be Ortiz and Boots. So let's make it happen and let's get it done, because then somebody's career, everyone's career technically could be better. Because no matter if the guys that lose projectedly to what we presume or assume to be Ortiz and Boots, but they give good accountabilities to themselves, when these guys leave, they're still going to be able to have shots in the division. People will know them as being competitive fighters, and they'll tune into them again. Right now, with everyone staying separate and scattered, nothing's going to happen. Someone needs to lead the way. And if I were Boots and I were serious, I'd be going to Eddie Hearn going, I don't care which one of these three you need to get in the ring, but that needs to be the best thing. Tell Turkey to make it happen. Yeah. That's what he needs, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to go in there, take control of his own career. And I know he's not his own manager and everything else, but the manager works for him. And the manager's job is to go to the promoter and say, make this happen. Eddie is the pseudo manager. They're violating the Muhammad Ali Act. We all know this. But let's just go ahead and ignore that and say he needs to go into Eddie Hearn and say, make Turkey make this happen. I want 1, 2, or 3. I don't care which one. Put someone in the ring, and it needs to be before the end of 26, and I need it now.
He's not going to get Xander Zayas, because Xander Zayas knows Boots will probably beat him, and he's just got that belt. He's not going to get Zayas.
Yeah.
He's going to run into this same 147 bullshit at 54.
Well, but I think the only person that'll fight him is Bakaram. I think
that's the only one I think.
That's it. Yeah.
But back to the round robin. Then if that's the case, then you're right. Zayas won't fight him, but I guarantee Oscar will think about, if the money's right, to put him in with Ortiz, because he will work with Bob Arum. Turkey will put the money up. It's all on. It can all easily be put on DAZN, so there's no obstacles. And I know we're specifically talking about Boots, but the end of this discussion is, what can Boots do? Boots does need help with these other guys wanting to make something out of their career also. So if these guys all want to do something and put a staple in where they're at in boxing, if I were Oscar, I'd be saying, yeah, we'll take Zayas. And then Boots, like you said, will fight. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but the
Bakram Mertzalia.
Yeah, him. Well, we'll just call him Bakram because that's all I can pronounce.
Yeah.
That's all my Caucasian tongue will let me do. So Bakram's gonna put him in with Bakram, because I have a strange feeling Bakram's not gonna turn down a fight. Unification, mandatory, number 10 contender. Doesn't matter who it is. Someone says, I want to get you in the ring, and here's a contract. He's gonna say, where? Where do I go? Where and what time? I don't think he's going to say no. His people might, but he's not going to. And so if he's called out into a point, he's going to show up and fight anybody he can get to get the exposure, because I have a strange feeling, even if he doesn't want to quote unquote dare to be great, I guarantee he wants to show that he's tough. And
let me do this super chat.
Go ahead.
Yeah. and address that point, actually. Yeah. Thank you to Scythe Bud for dropping that. Have a dub on your girl. Shout outs to Beats for keeping people honest. The reality behind Boots' resume is nobody wants to fight him for cheap. Cody Crowley wanted $1 million for a non-title fight. Didn't we have someone on here, Pave? But I think he was at work, so it was getting a bit loud. But Pave, you can come back when you're ready. Beats, do you want to address that? Anybody want to address that? The Cody Crowley?
Well, Cody Crowley was mandatory. And the way, from what I recall, he wasn't going to be paid $1 million. He was going to be paid a lot, but not $1 million bucks. But then I think he got injured and he pulled out the David Evanese and took his place. So that's the story behind that. But I'm not sure. I don't.
He had something wrong with his eye.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if he wanted $1 million for a non-title fight, but he was mandatory. So yeah,
he was the Mando. But we was actually thankful for the Avanesian fight because it was going to be a better fight anyway.
I agreed. Yeah, so you know,
so we just don't hear. We're just not here banging on Boots where there's things that are beyond his control. We state it, but where there's things that have been under his control, he's sitting there with any facts at the video. Yeah. You can say facts as loud as you want. It doesn't mean it's a fact.
We have said at 147 he did try to do all he can. We can't.
He did try, but then there was.
We can't complain that he's 147. See,
with the exception of fighting Crawford.
Once Spence and Crawford went, he tried to take them all on, and they weren't playing ball.
He actually said he wanted Bud. Bud was available. This was after Spence, but Bud said, I'm tied to a rematch clause.
Which he was.
But Boots was still calling him out. These tactics, like, the dude can't fight you right now because he's got a rematch clause. So they went around and, he's not, Crawford don't want the fight. And, Boots people are, Bud's ducking. Well, we knew. But then once Spence got spent, basically, that rematch went out the window. There was nothing heard of it. They went quiet. Bud was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to 154. As soon as Bud announced he was going to 154, guess what they did? Oh, we want Bud Crawford. Do you not remember? I remember this timeline in depth. Yeah. We want Bud Crawford. Okay, well, he's moving to 54. So you better go to 54 then. Oh, no, we're staying here to unify the division. We're going to be undisputed. Is there any hardships in Boots making weight? Oh no, there's no hardships with Boots making weight. He's fine at the weight. Then what happened after one fight? Oh, do you know what? The doctor came out and said he's only fighting at 70%, and he's finding it hard for the weight. It's always been a load of bullshit. So therefore, Boots is going to find this same amount of bullshit at 154 for things that are not. Like we said, there's the powers that be. He ain't going to get the fights for the simple facts like what we said. Fondora's a lame. He ain't going to do it. Zayas has just got a belt and he ain't just going to give that up, X, Y, Z. So really, you're harping on about Bud again, knowing that Bud is at 168 technically. If you think Bud's coming down to 160, which we think he may do, how about Boots, you just skip 54 then and just go to 160. It's a barren division and make sure you're in that division and that Bud can't ignore you then.
Zander Zayev and Merkazania.
Go and fight at. And then you got to trinket, and then on top of that, Janabek's about to be a 3-belt champ. I'm not full. You don't know till the fight's over, but there's strong possibility because I think he's already got a fight with the third out of the 4 belts already lined up. So whether he wins or not, 3 of the 4 will be locked up by under one fighter in the next several months.
Yeah, but because Bud is WBO champ, he can go down and challenge as a WBO contender straight away. Boots can still enter the division because you're not going to. It looks like you're not taking any marquee fights at 154. So how about just go up to one? You did like what Bud did. Do what Bud did then because you're claiming you're like him. Bud did 1 fight at 154 and then just skipped and went all the way to 168. You just skip one. You do your 1 fight that you've just done at 154. Go 160 because remember you are the pound for pound #1 according to Eddie Hearn. So Let me see.
But at 160, you say it's wide open. It's about to be
Eddie Hearn. I think it's too focused on what Eddie Hearn has to say, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I am focusing on what Eddie Hearn has to say because that's what casuals will focus on. Also,
like, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, he's pound for pound number one.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, he's pound for pound number one. So let's just do some pound for pound number one.
He's not though. Like he's not.
Or if you're pound for pound number two, then because we all know you're not number one. Okay, so let's just go down.
He's not in the top three. He's not even in the top three.
We know he's not. This is what I'm saying. But because you're saying you're one, and we know that you're not one, let's just say you're two. Even though we know you're not even two. But just say you're two. Go and do some pound for pound number two shit. Go ahead. We'll watch him. We're here to watch. We're here to witness greatness. That's all we're here to do. Yeah. Now, when you're not doing great, we're here to call it out.
And back to close the idea off of the 160, I say go look to fight Adams. Because
Carlos.
Yeah, because
go do that.
Like I said, Janibek whether Janibek wins or not, 3 belts are about to be locked up within in less than 6 months, leaving 1 belt open. Great, Boots, go win that one. Go win that one.
Crawford can't ignore you.
Right, because if Crawford wants to go to 160, he's going to have to fight one of those two.
This is what I'm saying. That's my whole point. Like, then it's a checkmate.
With respect to Crawford, I don't see him wanting to fight Janibek unless it's for the whole shebang.
Yeah.
So if he's going to go down to 160, like you said, that actually forces his hand. If you go to unless he just wants to be the dark horse sitting on the outside, which he hasn't done yet. As you pointed out, every time he goes to division, he fights a champion. So if he sticks to theme, sticks to park, sticks to mentality, sticks to tradition of his career, he's going to fight somebody for the belt, and more than likely it would be Boots before it would be Janibek. Because the only reason why he's going to want to fight Janibek, again, no disrespect to Crawford, I think he always wants to fight the best. He ain't going to Janibek first. That's going to have to be a fight that's going to be
if Janibek beats Lara and gets all 3 belts, he's going to target him. I already see that. He's not
Boots. I think Bud would target Janibek.
Yeah, especially if he beat Lara. If he beat Lara, he has all 3 titles. He would. He
ain't going up to. He ain't moving down to do no tune-ups. He ain't going to start doing that now and go like, let me just see like around that. No, he's going to. If I'm going down, I'm making it worthwhile to go down for a legacy to go down and sweep all of these cats belts like I've been doing my whole career. Let's not pretend that's not what he's been doing. So we have to stick to the pattern of what Crawford has shown us. So
but let's also wrap up what Crawford's going to want to his mentality of what we think he's going to want to do there. He's got the undisputed bug, so he's not going to just win a belt in the division and say, okay, did that. He did that 154. I get that. But now that he's been undisputed at 140, 147, and 168. If there's a way to do it quickly, and this is nothing against Bud, like trying to.
Yeah, he could just do it.
This isn't about the cherry pick. It's about because he's 38. So how am I going to be able to be undisputed without going through 10 fights?
Without going through mad load amount of people. Yeah.
So the best way for him to do that is for, like you said, Janibek fight Lara, the winner, which is more than likely going to be Janibek, but we could be wrong. Could be
Lara. Yeah.
Could be Lara. He might want to go that route, but he's not going to stay there.
No,
he's going to look for that last belt, and that's where Boots needs to go for.
And then lock Crawford in, and then say, "Hey, Crawford, here I am.
You want to be undisputed? You got to go through.
You got to come see me. Yep.
Yeah.
That's playing chess and not checkers. So this is what I'm saying. Until he does moves like that, I just don't want to hear about this geezer's this and this geezer's that. You're not, because what we're going to hear is that at 154. Nobody wants to fight Boots. We're going to hear the same story of what we heard at 47. He may get one more. I bet you he gets one more fight at 54, realizes it's a deadlock, a hung jury, and then he's going to have to be. He looked drained at 54. Did you see how big that dude was in the ring?
All I know about this is that Turkey really wants to fight with Ortiz. So moving back down to that division for the moment, since that's where we're currently at, and everything else we're talking about at 160 is what if and hyperbole, hypothetical, because Crawford's not there and Boots isn't there. So where Boots is, because he's the main topic of this conversation, is they need to try and find something to sweeten the pot for Ortiz to get a belt. Now, if Ortiz doesn't win the belt, then the rest of this is a mute point. But if he wins a belt, now Turkey really wants that fight. You get 2 undefeated champions in there. It's not going to be Leonard Hearns. But the reason why Leonard Hearns was so big is because it was 2 champions fighting each other. So if you're going to get these two because they're young names, that's one thing. You get two champions, now the casuals are like, hey, I have to see this fight. And people want it. And then whoever wins, because it's high visibility, everybody's career does better. And everybody except for Turkey, who puts too much money into the fights, but he makes them happen. Since he's not worried about not making a profit, we shouldn't shed a tear. We just reap the rewards.
May I interject?
Hey, go ahead.
What up, Viso? What's going
Oh,
on?
is that Virtuoso? You're right, Virtuoso. Go ahead, Virtuoso.
Yeah,
good to talk to you again. Hey, good to talk to you, Chief. Yeah, I was listening to what you were just saying there, Chief. You know how to sweeten the deal for Virgil?
How's
they
that?
have the WBC needs to strip, Fundora and make him the champion.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no problem with this.
Yeah, because let's not forget why he even became champion. Is because he was supposed to fight, I guess, Buchachuk, right, for that belt.
The interim title, yeah.
And they transferred that to the Tim Tszyu fight. And without any rhyme or reason, they did that. So if they're gonna pull something off like that, you know what? This guy is injured. Let's strip him with the belt, make him champion of recess, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And they can make a unification right there. But the thing with Boots is like, who is he fighting next as far as getting the belt? Because
they're all locked up.
Exactly. Listen, boxing politics is a bitch, man, to deal with, and like Crawford, Boots has come under victim of that. Now the sticking point for me with Boots was that fight was offered to him earlier this year, but he decided to unify 147, which I commend him for. But we all knew that the other title holders were not willing participants.
No.
So he had to take that fight. For me, I personally wanted that fight, because we've been asking for that fight for 5 years.
Yeah.
That on paper was a better fight than Stanionis, objectively. Yeah. So if that's going to be next, then let's see it. Because for me, that fight was a wash. What I saw on Saturday, bar none. It just showed me that he doesn't need no more tune-ups. He's ready.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean,
because Viso, like you said, I completely agree with everything you said, but like there's just one problem, because like Fundora's got the WBC belt, but the WBC is not going to strip him because they let PBC fighters hold their belts hostage.
Yeah.
So he's going to probably hold on to that belt unless he vacates it, which could be, who knows, God knows how long, who knows. Hopefully it's soon.
Yeah.
But so
I mean, I understand that they let Jamal Charlo get away with murder, holding that thing.
They let him hold the belt for 2 to 3 years without fighting, which is ridiculous.
Keith Thurman? How long did Keith Thurman have the WBA with not even finding the number one guy each time?
Hello, thank you. The WBA.
But my point is this. My point is this: let's at least get it out there and into the universe of Ortiz saying, "Hey, I'm interim. Suleiman, make this happen." Now, Suleiman, we know that doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm not trying to speak ignorance into the world. What I'm trying to say is force the issue to where the fans know that this is, because sometimes you're the champion without being recognized as the champion.
Yeah.
And so if he does this, and like, look, Fundora's not going to fight me. At least 1 or 2 fights okay, I can't get this, so I'm going to fight the number one contender. And at that fight, like when we tried to get Fundora and we initiated the mandatory, but the WBC wouldn't make it happen, then you do it again. Look, this is twice, and I'm 27 years old. I don't have time to wait. I'm calling myself the champion. And you act like that at the press conference. Look, I just beat the last 2 guys. He's not fighting anybody. I'm the champion because he doesn't want to fight me. This may say interim, but I'm not, do the
say
Ali.
stuff like that.
Do the Ali. Prop yourself up. Or if you can't do it, make Oscar or Hopkins do it, because they sure as hell will. And they will definitely hog that microphone and hype that up. And then the next thing you know, you can have an interim versus a regular champion, but people are still going to consider that a unification fight because they realize the fact the man behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz, hiding from everyone with the WBC belt, doesn't want to play. And so, great. If you don't want to play, we don't care. You can sit on the bench. These guys, bench warmer, get off. You're up now. Rudy, get in the game. And there you go.
Yeah. I still just think it's going to end up just in a deadlock. I just think that he's just really not going to get those fights.
And if that's the case, then I think he's got to go to middleweight and make that case there then instead. Let's say that he doesn't get the Crawford fight, one reason or another, or that unification fight at middleweight doesn't come down. He still had the nerve to go up and fight one more weight class. He makes himself a 3-weight champion. He's making whatever statements he can make within what people are willing to do with him. And it's better than just sitting there running your mouth. It's better than adding like the 4 queens that are down at lightweight that are better fighting with their thumbs than they are with their fists.
Right.
So, I mean, those beta males down there embarrass my country because they're not willing to fight anything or anything great. They want to be absolutely paid for everything and earn nothing. And I'm sick of it. I want someone from my country to actually come up and say, I want to be the best by doing this. This is your chance, Ortiz. This is your chance. If you guys even hear this, this is your chance to make something happen by making a point. And your point is going to have to be verbal. It might have to be outside the box. It may not be you actually getting the belt, Ortiz. You might have to do what I just said. And Boots, you might have to go up to 160 and at least become a 3-time champion before. Let's face it,
before anything starts popping for you.
People weren't overly enthusiastic about Bud when he picked up that 3rd belt. It took time with that 3rd belt.
Yeah,
you may have to do that. Boxing isn't fair, neither is life. But if you want to be paid worth your talent, you're going to have to get people to want to pay for it. And sitting here and acting like those 4 beta males and fighting with your thumbs isn't getting it done. So get something else done. Do it with your fists. Make something happen.
Right. And good point. Lisa's saying, I haven't heard Virgil or Oscar say the fight was signed because they haven't. Because remember, Eddie said he's signed it there. They signed their bit, but they was waiting for it. That's all a load of fluff. It's
bulletin board material. Oscar be playing games too, man. He does with a lot.
And Oscar's not. I was just about to say, Oscar don't play ball. I have no faith in Oscar because Oscar pulls a lot of bullshit himself.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, to me, it's not looking.
I mean, he tried to hold the Shakur and there's a pay to fight ransom when the WBC ordered it.
Yeah, you saw
what I'm
that.
talking
You
about.
signed to me for 3 fights before that even can be considered an XYZ. We saw Oscar doesn't play ball, or he takes the ball and walks off the court, and nobody can play. That's what Oscar's renowned for. So, like I said, it just brings me back to the point. I just think this is going to go into some deadlock, but it just doesn't help that Eddie just saying stuff and getting caught out in kind of like lies. I've been catching up and all what he's been saying, and then people doing the commentary on, him just absolutely nulling and voiding everything he just said before. Oh, we signed, but we didn't sign, but we signed because signed, but we're waiting for him to sign, but he's not signed because we're waiting for him to sign. But we have to sign, but we signed.
That means there was no contract negotiation.
To be fair, like I said, everything to Boots. I'm going to put the same heat, which he is not going to listen to me, but I'm going to put out there anyway for Ortiz. Go into Oscar's office and get in there and say, get me this. Quit letting him tell you what to do, because he had the charisma and he told Bob what he wanted, and that's how he got things, and that's how he became the Hall of Famer. He went and told Bob Arum what he wanted, and then it became happen. Bob didn't dictate to him. He dictated to Bob. He works for you. He's your promoter. Get in this office and say, get me something soon. And if he doesn't, technically he's in breach of contract. You've got the right to leave him. So get in there and make something happen, because no one's going to take your career serious for you. You've got to get out. When I was in the military, we always said, keep notes of everything you did for your evaluations, because you're in charge of your own career. Your supervisor is not responsible for remembering what you do, because you're an adult. Go make your own notes, turn it in, write up your own bullets, give them to your supervisor, and then they can't argue. You can think you're entitled to something, but when you have it in writing and you make that happen, go make it happen. Ortiz, Boots, go tell these men what they need to do for you, because you're grown men now. You're not children.
Exactly.
Go tell them what to do, make it happen. They work for you. Get it done.
Beats. And what do you think about that? That's been said. What if Buddy doesn't get the Ortiz fight next? What would you say then?
What should Boots do? Go to 160, like I said.
Boots or Bud? Boots, you mean?
No, I called him Buddy, meaning like old pal Boots. If he don't get the Ortiz fight next, are you going to be what does he do then?
Go to 160, like I said. Then try and force something at 160 of a round robin.
You don't do. That's just like crazy. You don't just do that.
No,
I mean, but boxers fight to a plan. So
why not?
You can't just say, "Oh, I don't get a fight here. I jump to 160." He just got.
Well, you did that at 147.
Why couldn't he?
Why shouldn't he? If you're great, why can't you do that?
Because he just got there.
Yeah, but Bud just got at 154 and he moved, and he saw that it was going to be a no. We're tying him to Bud all the way through now because that's what they've chosen to do. So now we're tying him.
Wait a minute. Did Floyd even defend the WBC belt after he beat Gotti before he jumped to 147? No, he didn't.
No,
so yes, you can do that. And it's not that but it was Floyd, because Floyd was not a major star at the time. He was only on his first pay-per-view when he did that. So he was nowhere near. He wasn't even an 8-figure fighter yet. He wasn't even a $10 million fighter.
De La Hoya and shit, man, and you know what I mean, and Bud fighting like Canelo, like what fights are like what fights are 160? He's gonna go up there and fight Lara.
Why not?
That fight's locked up.
But that fight's locked up. But why not? If it wasn't, why not? What we're trying to say is, Beats, is that I think them tying themselves to Crawford. I'm just going to keep them tight.
If he could do.
Yeah, because if you remember when Crawford went up to fight Makhmudov, he then saw the bullshit after he took Makhmumov's belt. He saw what Fundora was like. I'm going to fight Bud next. And then all of a sudden, no, actually, we're fighting Spence. Bud already saw it. He was like, nah, they tried to do this to me down at 47. Fuck it. I'm skipping. He went out. He left because he knew he would be there deadlocked like what Boots is going to be. So Boots, you got Eddie. You should forecast what's going to happen. So therefore, you're not going to get what you want at 54 like you didn't get at 47. You might not even, you got more at 47 than you're probably going to get at 54, just in my opinion. So don't you think it's better for you
say this
bullshit and go to 60?
I'll say this, right? I think the unification with Abbas Baru is more possible if the Ortiz fight doesn't happen, right? But let me just point out what I saw from Boots, like I would say a couple of years ago. Now he put out like an Instagram story, and those things don't last long. They have like a 24-hour shelf life, right?
Yeah.
I saw him in a photo flex his muscle, and next to him with 3 numbers, right? 160. That means that he's capable of going up to 160. These guys are not like, they're small guys. No, these are big guys. They just cut down Master D and Lee.
Yeah.
So it's possible for him to do that. But if they're serious about campaigning, going on this undisputed run, then stick around and fight Abbas Baru, because that's the most important fight if you're gonna build yourself up, and fight the other title holder, So
he could, like you're saying with the 160. I think maybe before you came on, we were talking about how I was even saying it yesterday to the group that how big Boots walks around at, because you saw when he was in camp with Canelo. That dude nobody could tell me that Boots doesn't walk around anything lighter than 185, 90.
Super middleweight could be in his future. Who knows?
Well, it definitely is. And people were moaning that how drained he looked on the scales for 54. That is a big boy. That's a big boy. So if you know that you're a big boy like that, and you believe that, you're going to be the future pound for pound number 1, let's go. Let's fucking go. And then we'll all be behind you. And even if you lose, we won't dog you out because you tried. We're just dogging you out because you're saying a load of shit, saying that you're this and you're that, and you're as good or better than the current pound for pound number 1, and you're doing total opposite shit. We don't care if you lose. We just want to see you do what you say that you're going to try and do.
Yeah.
To put things in perspective of his weight, he said on the 3 knockdown rule with Mario Lopez and Steve Kim, they said, what is your actual weight when you're not in the gym? He says, I don't know how to weigh myself, but 2 weeks after training camp starts, I weigh myself. And there's a lot of water weight shedding off in those first 2 weeks. He says I weigh around 162 to 165. That's after 2 weeks of strict diet. So he's easily over 175 pounds walking around.
Easily. Devin Haney's like 170, 175 walking around. And Boots is a bigger lad than that. I saw.
Did you see a photo with him? Did you see a photo? Hold on, Shan. You saw a photo with him next to Bud, like speaking to Bud? Like how big his head was?
Big. The dude is big. This is what I'm saying. And they all lie because they did that with Devin when they was like, what do you walk around at? And Devin was like, 155. Even Bud said it on Piers Morgan when he was fighting Canelo. They was like, oh, what weight are you now? Because you look really, he was like, no, I'm about 150, 155. They all lied because they know if they say, yeah, you know what, I'm 187. It just looks wild.
Chief, Chief, I gotta tell you, I miss the days when they would report the fight night weigh-in date.
Night weigh-in.
HBO was great at it. HBO was also good at one other thing. They would measure it from the armpit to the end of the fist, so you knew what the real reach advantage was.
The real reach
details.
Yeah,
it subtracted what it was between your middle finger to your wrist and the width between your shoulders. Because just to put things in perspective, and I don't want to go too far on this,
because Bud's gone up an inch, by the way. Now he's 75.
Well, it's such as Bud, Evander Holyfield, and Tommy Morrison had the same reach, fingertip to fingertip. We know that Morrison's arms were shorter than Evander Holyfield's. We just know that he was built. His shoulders were broader, his arms were shorter. He wasn't built the same way. We know that Usyk, even though fingertip to fingertip, he has the same reach as Muhammad Ali. It's not the same. One person's arm is longer than the others. We just don't know who it is because they never measured Ali like that.
Yeah,
so we don't have any. We don't. The eye test tells us, but we don't know by actual little proof from the actual measuring tape.
Yeah.
So you knew who had a complete reach advantage. For instance, it looks like based off fingertip to fingertip that Floyd has a shorter reach than Trinidad, but armpit to the end of the fist it's even 26 each, 26 or 27 inches each, so it's even. So it's just
all
different.
manipulation.
And the same day weigh-ins at the same time. When you weigh him in at night, that's how we knew that Gotti outweighed
Floyd.
I can't remember the guy's name. Gotti outweighed the New England kid, the Gamage. He outweighed Gamage by like 16 pounds by the time they got in the ring. So we found these things out by people showing that.
Diego Corrales outweighed Floyd by 19 pounds on the night.
Because he was killing himself to make that weight. We all knew it.
And this is what I'm saying. So then lads walk around the lion boots. You can, like what Virtuoso just said. He tattooed 160. He got or whatever wrote 160 or tattooed 160 because you could do that. All I'm saying is, if you're great, go ahead, show us. I'll be there to clap you, even if you lose. At least you tried. I want to hear about you doing shit.
Honestly, if he can't get a fight at 154, I bet you if Eddie Hearn goes to someone like Sheik to put some money down, Carlos Adams would jump at a chance to sign a contract to fight Boots.
That would be a good fight.
And it would be a good fight, and it would make a statement because nobody's in a hurry to fight that guy. I'm not saying he's going to be great. Be difficult for anybody at 160, but I don't think he's a world beater at 160. However, if you're moving up to fight the guy that nobody's in line to fight, you're making
that's the guy to take. Yeah, that's the guy to dare to be great with. Donald Banks says, my problem with Boots is that after having 35 pro fights, he still has not been in one real fight yet, and it's clear he continues to clout chase using Crawford and Ortiz names over and over.
You know, I would argue that Karen Chikatian was kind of snuck up on him.
Chikatian was that. Yeah,
that's
that
true. He did. That's true. Yeah, he gave him 2 tough fights, especially the
second fight. You know, it's not always about the name. It's always about the skill level.
It's the style and the skill level. Yeah. And Boots not fooling me. I know he's going to fight a boss Baru next. I will. But then that's a good fight, though, if he does, though. We're not complaining if he does do that.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not, anyway. We just
I want him to. That's the fight I'd like him to take next.
Yeah. So. And Sick Flood said before that fight was made, Cody was on the Boxing Voice. He wanted $1 million. Oh, okay. Okay, so he did want him. But, I mean, the fight was made, though. He only got
it wasn't further. He was going to make like $500,000 or something.
It wasn't. So whatever what he was saying on, Joey Ganache. That's no matter what it was saying on the Boxing Voice, he accepted the fee that they ultimately was going to give him. He only got pulled out literally a few days before, and that's how we got David Avanesian, that you guys all called David Avocado. You don't know who David Avanesian is. And then when Boots beat David Avanesian like 1 or 2 rounds before Bud did, then all of a sudden he was like, yeah, look, he beat him quicker and better than Bud. But he was just calling him David Avocado last week. So which one is it? That's why I'm not down with these Boots fanboys. They make me sick, to be honest. They're garbage.
Let's go to the move from Floyd to Spence, and now they're on Boots. And I don't want to take that because when you usually associate that mentality with the fighter, then the fighter gets the negative connotation. I'm not trying to put that to Boots. I'm just trying to talk about the ignorance of the people. They're jumping on the latest freestyle fighter that they think is going to be the most eye-catching guy because that's all they know about boxing. And when the theys, who are they? When you talk, you know who they are. I'm not trying to put anything else out there than that. Anytime I go to a bar and I talk about boxing, you know, oh, Roy Jones was the face of boxing forever. Well, he was never a bigger star than Oscar De La Hoya. It doesn't matter if he was a better fighter or not. He was just never a bigger star. Oh, that's not true.
No,
okay, sure. Yeah, you're right. I'm wrong about that. I'm wrong that Roy's only 8-figure fight was against John Ruiz. You're right. You're right. He
was it?
Yeah.
That is damn, man.
Yeah, he wasn't getting it. That's why he was posturing so hard to get 8 figures against Hopkins because he saw that Oscar was getting 8 figures a fight, and he's like, well, this is my chance. And the purse really wasn't big enough for both of them to get those sizable paydays. And you can say that Hopkins is pricing himself out. I'm not going to argue that. But for Roy to not be getting $5 million a fight fighting anybody else at that time, and that he wasn't even making that, and to say that he wanted $15 million and wasn't going to fight Bernard any other way, people are forgetting the fact that that was also a price out. So he didn't do
payday. You want payday? I know that.
I'm not going to argue that. They already had a win over him. But you're not even making $5 million a fight. You want to make Oscar De La Hoya money. You've got a gift right here of somebody who wants to fight you, who's actually got traction because you just beat Felix Trinidad and you're outpricing yourself. Okay, congratulations.
Hated it.
Now everybody thinks he was making $10 million a fight his whole career, and that's because they don't know boxing.
Oh, see, you. I'm little then, or do you know what I mean? I didn't even know all of this like in-depth info. Like that was Roy's first millions of dollar fight. Jeez, John Ruiz at heavyweight.
That was his first.
I mean, didn't James Prince wanted a fight between Roy Jones and Mike Tyson back in 2003?
Say that again, Virtuoso.
Didn't James Prince wanted to I think he was managing Mike Tyson, wasn't he?
Was Jay Prince managing Tyson at a point?
I have no knowledge of that. I'm not saying he's wrong. This was after Tyson left King, so there's a possibility, but I don't know that for fact. When Tyson stayed with Showtime when America Presents took over and Don King left and Tyson was still there, he was the premier fighter there, and a lot of those guys were under James Prince. So he could be right, but I don't have solid knowledge of that myself.
Yeah.
Right, and Roy wanted more money, to fight Tyson.
The big one that really was on the table was the fact they were offering him Buster Douglas. And
Roy?
They're offering Roy Buster Douglas during Buster's comeback, offering him $6 million for that fight. Remember, he hadn't even made $5 million for a payday yet. So he's offering $6
Roy
million.
That's going too far.
And the thing about it was Buster got knocked out in his next fight by a Butterbean opponent. And so it's like, you possibly could have gotten $6 million and beat a former heavyweight champion. Now, I'm not going to knock Roy for that. We you don't know what you don't know until it happens.
Yeah, until you know.
But at the same time, you're being offered a shop-worn heavyweight that's on a comeback trail. It's a former world champion on a career amount of money, and you're complaining about not getting paid enough, and then you're turning down fights like that. That's the kind of weird part of Roy's career. But
like you said, hindsight 2020, he can't be doing Monday morning quarterback. He didn't know, did he?
At the time, with Buster being that big,
to go and fight no Buster Douglas. You better go fight a John Ruiz, starting at one.
This was in 90. This was in like 99. So
in the late 90s. The late 90s.
Yeah, it was in the late 90s, and he fought John Ruiz in around 2003 because I was overseas when that fight happened.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, so there was.
So it wasn't like, I see where you're getting at, but it wasn't like he turned down Douglas to fight Ruiz. It was he was offered this first, and he turned it down. And I think he was still around super middleweight at the time.
Oh, okay.
He was a light heavyweight. He was a light heavyweight at the time.
He had already fought Montel by this time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he beat him after that. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because that was when he fought Montel. Those fights were light heavy.
No, I know that part. I just didn't know where
if he had moved up by then. Yeah,
I didn't know where the Douglas fight was being offered. I knew. I know exactly which what class he was fighting Montel in.
Yeah.
That was the fight that's the fight that Montel fight's the one that upset the unification fight with Virgil Hill.
Yep.
Yeah, those was some good old days though. And then Roy got accused of not fighting nobody as well. He didn't fought nobody.
Well, I don't know about fighting nobody, but there's
they did, and he said, "I just make him look like nobody."
He was dominating everybody he fought, though.
But they said it, and
even Roy did turn down a lot of fights, though. Roy did turn down a lot of fights. That's the issue.
Larry Merchant hated Roy Jones Jr. He's like, "Well, who's he gonna pick next fight?"
Eventually, he loved Roy at the beginning, but they eventually.
And then he
what Larry got tired of is when you started saying, "Well, nobody wants to fight me." When there were fights out there, Stevie Collins was calling him out. So was Nigel Benn, and he wasn't challenging these fights. He wasn't taking them.
About that, the Ben on the channel about Nigel. Who would you have liked to have fought, Nigel Benn or Chris Eubank? He said either or. I was like, so why didn't you fight him? But he would have loved to. He preferred Chris Eubank Senior. He said,
right.
Likes his character in that, but he in his, Roy's going to say, I would have beat both of them anyway. But I was just like, but I was too little. I'm like, why didn't you fight him? I forget what he answered. I'd be lying if I just said anything. So
I don't know but between the people that were representing them, I don't know anything. I just know that Nigel Benn went on record saying, I will donate $1 million to Jaron McClellan if I can get the Roy Jones fight, and the fight still never materialized. Because that would have been a big fight for Nigel Benn. That would have been the biggest fight Nigel Benn ever could have gotten.
A great fight.
Roy Jones Jr. Remember that name?
I won't say easily, but Nigel Benn was a loose cannon. But I do think he would have come out of top.
I remember one stage, like I think in the early '90s, like we could have got some great unifications, if I recall. Back when Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank were going to rematch.
Funny that when videos play and you guys can't you not hear them? Don't, because my mic gets muted off rip.
So does mine.
It doesn't do it for you lot. Doesn't matter. I was just wondering. I'm like, why does my mic get muted and none of these cats' mics get muted?
But it's a shame because like
mute. Go ahead.
No, this is a shame because like in the early '90s though, I mean, we could have got some great unifications because I remember when Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn were going to rematch and James Toney came on the TV talking shit. To both of them. And, yeah. And I mean, because at the time they were all champions. At 168, Tony was the IBF champion, and Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank were WBO and WBC champion. We could have, and I think Michael Nunn was WBA champion as well.
Yeah, he was.
And like I'm saying, like those would have been some great matchups, man. You know what I mean? I mean, because both Benn and Eubank fought each other, but I'm saying like Tony in the mix.
Don't forget that Eubank and Ben tried it again, but they came to a draw, and then the fight never materialized again. That unification fight did happen. It just resulted in no progress moving forward.
What I'm saying is Tony was champion then too, and it's just a shame that he just didn't, wasn't offered a fight with either one of them. That would have been great too. I'd have loved to see especially Eubank Tony fight.
Well, he did. Roy beat him that was at 160 though, wasn't it?
It was 168.
Was it at
160?
Yeah, no, it was at one. And James Toney complained and said, "Oh, it's because I was weight drained anyway. I never fight. I'm not a 168 fighter." I remember that.
He moved up to 168 from having lots of complaints after different fights that he couldn't make the weight. So when Roy fought Bernard, and some guy tried to argue with me on this that I was wrong. When Roy fought Bernard, that was a vacant belt that was vacated by James Toney.
It was.
I know this 100%. The individual who I don't remember his name. That's how much he actually registered with me. Said that when it was the Green Bernard Hopkins, he said Roy beat him when he was a sitting champion. I was like, that was a vacant belt. It was not. I broke it down. I broke it down complete to him like this. That was undercard to Riddick Bowe, I do believe, against Michael Dokes in Washington D.C. on the undercard, and it was against Bernard Hopkins on a vacant belt that James Toney gave up. And the guy was just like, "Oh, you mean he wasn't champ?" I was like, "No, he wasn't champ, but thank you for playing."
Yeah. You win the booby prize.
McGregor did lose. He lost on the ground. He didn't lose standing up. So he's a hell of a fighter, and he's a very, very tough.
Everything we wanted, even the potential that was there, was just absolutely awesome.
You know what's funny? Like that actually reminds me of a guy. I was this is before the Devin Haney fight and the Devin Haney Lomachenko fight happened. and one guy was picking Devin Haney to win, and when he was explaining himself, he goes, "Well, because Loma's moving up in weight," and I'm like, "What, dude, bro? Loma's been a lightweight for years. What are you talking about?"
I've had some similar stuff with the Terence Crawford and someone saying on a comment that Crawford should
Lady Chann will get a kick out of
fight
this
at
one.
154 and be a champ there, and everyone was like, "Dude, where you been? Crawford's been fought a champ at 154." That's when you know that it's don't even bother answer them because they don't work.
So Lady Chann will get a kick out of this one.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. I've got an early start in the morning. I've got to check out.
Thanks, Leon. Thanks,
Take care,
Leon.
man.
Have a good one.
All right,
Take
Leon,
care.
salute, man.
Pleasure talking with you. Lady Chann, you're going to get a kick out of this one. So one thing the Boxing Voice VC, I kept talking about.
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. When I was in the Boxing Voice VC on Discord in the chat talking, I was schooling these guys about how Floyd did not want to fight a prime Shane Mosley, and they kept trying to tell me I was wrong and kept bringing up the toothache argument, not knowing the time frame of how everything was going down. I was talking about 1999, and they keep bringing all the stuff from 2006. And so some guy pulls up an article saying yes, they couldn't come to terms, so Mosley moved up to lightweight. What do you mean Mosley moved up to lightweight?
He started there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Listen, Linda.
And so I was like, what article is that? And so then they go to defend the article by going, well, boxing writers don't know it. Right, but you're pulling information from a source that doesn't know what it's talking about.
Yeah, because you don't know, and you're pulling it like it was the holy gospel according to Saint Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and you're wrong. Yeah, that's why I can't be bothered. Sometimes
don't forget James. Don't forget the Book of James. Don't forget the Book of James.
And the Book of James. The Book of James. I know.
It's further back, but it's my favorite book. That's my favorite book.
Hang on, do Catholics do the Book of James?
Do Catholics? No. I don't know. I'm Protestant.
So. No. We don't do the Book of James. No, sorry, we don't do it. Sorry.
Okay, well, James is Jesus meets Proverbs. Like it's 5 chapters. Instead of reading 31 chapters of Proverbs, it's 5 chapters.
Yeah, we booted James out. He's not in the Buddhism. Yeah, James.
I got another one for you that made me crack up. It was honestly ridiculous. This was after I think this was after Beterbiev had beat Anthony Yard, or it was after it was after he beat Joe Smith Jr. My bad. He knocked out Joe Smith Jr. And I proposed the matchup of like Anthony. No, I think it was after he beat Anthony Yard, and well, either or, but anyway, I proposed the matchup. Hey, maybe Joe Smith Jr. and Yard can fight each other in kind of like a redemption fight. Who do you think wins? I put it on Twitter. Got a lot of feedback from it, and one guy goes, "Oh yeah, I'm favoring Yard to win because I'm favoring Yard to win because he has a he has a chin unlike Joe Smith Jr." And then I just typed back, Anthony Yard got knocked out by a jab. No. But after I typed that, guess what he did? Guess what he did? He blocked me.
Yeah, I know. That's why you don't argue with people. They're like, it's like, yeah, you're like, what? Okay, you just got to move on swiftly.
Did I lie? Was that a lie?
No, but we shouldn't let people bring us into dumbness.
Right. No, we just try to spread the light of intelligence.
I need to learn to ignore people. If I've got a bit of time, I end up, I've got a bit of time today.
It's exhausting to talk to them, and it's like this is why you got to hold like boxing media accountable, because they're really done a disservice to the fans. Like really, like try to like whitewash history.
They just ask. They certain people, when I see these journos interview people, and then the person spits out the wrong facts and nobody corrects them, and I'm like, how does that work? That do you not know the real answer yourselves? And therefore you shouldn't be even being in this sport? Or are you just so scared to make the correction to the person that you interview?
I'm not. Let Tyson Fury stand in front of me and tell me that bullshit that he beat Usyk twice. I'm like, no, you didn't. You lost.
And they all will look at him.
I'm saying that right away.
Yeah.
No, we all know you lost, bro. You lost those fights.
Nothing. They spit out facts, these fake facts, and everybody's just like, okay, yeah. I didn't know that. That's what journalism was about. Just ignoring.
It's not, but for some reason, somewhere from I don't know what time frame, but to today, journalists don't call out misinformation.
Social media journalism, isn't it?
It's all fan driven.
No, over in America, I watch the mainstream media, and whether it's any of those major news sources, they don't call out anything that their interviewer is saying. When you know they're not telling the truth, they'll sit there and go, and now they're doing. And when they do it as passive aggressively. When they do it as passive aggressive, it's like, well, but wasn't it like this? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, maybe my facts were wrong. They don't call out anybody.
No, that's right. I'm like,
when I was taking journalism in school, it was your job is to be objective and critical. Critique the situation, but don't take a particular side.
Integrity. Sorry, can't even say the word. Maybe
I'm here to help.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, like you're supposed to have that. Like I don't know. I just thought it was us. Since we get a laptop and a smartphone, it went to pot. But I guess you're saying it was always trash a little bit then.
They had their more. Max Kellerman was a perfect example. I'm not saying he was the beginning of it, but when he was on ESPN Friday Night Fights when he first got there, they were talking about the welterweight division, and he was not a Felix Trinidad fan. So he went out of his way. He's like, well, Jose Luis Lopez and Ike Corte are fighting. Those are two guys that Trinidad didn't want to fight. Okay, hold on, stop. Pull that bus over to the pretentious turnpike. You're saying that if an offer was made to Felix Trinidad to fight Ike Corte or Jose Luis Lopez, that he would have turned it down. And you have what proof of this? Now, of course, I couldn't say that to anybody because,
because they'll say, what proof of you do you have?
But I was just sitting on my TV going, and they're paying this guy?
Yeah, I know. Max Kellerman, he's the worst. Even he's come back now, and I just think, oh, God, Max. He'd be saying some stupid stuff on the broadcast. And
it's cringeworthy, man.
It's so
like,
cringe.
I had to watch him interview Crawford. It's like, what? Okay.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed.
But just somebody get the mic from this guy, please. You know what I mean?
He came back. He came back after years.
The same bullshit.
just to embarrass himself. And listen, I really not interested in that shoulder programming with the ring. I'm like,
I know. I watched it twice.
As soon as I see Mike Coppinger's ugly mug there, I'm like, I'm not even watching the first episode.
I saw Mike Coppinger, Ryan Garcia, and I said, no, I'm out.
I'm out. They're doing it wrong.
My lady, I want to say thank you for letting me be on. Fellas, great to talk to you guys. I got to get dinner going, so talk to you guys later.
Thank you, sir. Come back, man. Come on back, man. You're always welcome.
Anytime I can.
You hear?
Come by next time. Yes, thank you for the invitation. It was a lovely time, and we'll have a spot day next time.
Take care. Thank you for coming.
Salute to you, sir. Take it easy, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we're just going to use one more topic to wrap up in there. It's just the fight that we saw at the weekend. Anyway, let me just remind everyone, this is the weekend. No, it's not the weekend. It's the weekly. I forgot my own damn show. Weekly wrap up. Shiggity, shiggity, word. Shiggity, shiggity, in the booty scene. So we had that was a good chop up, by the way, with about the boot stuff and all of that. I always like hearing these chop ups and then I hear some historic stuff that I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. It's great learning new stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? When you do these panels. But we had Dave Allen versus Makhmudov. What says anybody? Who wants to start first? I mean,
I will.
Go ahead, AJ.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I'm going to keep this short because I didn't watch the fight. So moving on.
It was a highlight. It was 30 seconds. No. Sorry, that was the brief. Sorry, that went the distance. My bad. Sorry, my brain just fried there.
Yeah, I didn't catch it, Chan. Honestly, I really didn't catch it. I forgot it was on.
Yeah, you might have been asleep.
Yeah, I think I was. Yeah. So y'all can talk about it. I'll just I'll listen.
Yeah. Oh, so are you? So okay, so that's all you had to say on it.
That's it. Yeah, I didn't see the highlights, nothing at all.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Virtuoso.
You know what? It was. It's hard to call it like a domestic scrap because Makhmudov is Russian,
Yeah.
And he has some. I guess he was close to like world title contendership.
Yeah.
But it felt like Allen was fighting like the Russian version of this guy, of his last opponent, Johnny Fisher.
Johnny Fisher.
Yeah. I think he's just fights down to his level, Makhmudov, man. I just feel like as intimidating as he looks, man, there's still like some deep flaws there. Like he just throws, straight hands, but doesn't really know how to block the return shots. And I felt like he was there for him, for Allen to knock him out. But like Allen just hangs back, man. It's like he doesn't want to tire himself out. He's very patient, but like when he goes after, he really goes after. He really can hurt you, man. I've seen him throw like some wide ass hooks that were from fucking Slough, from Doncaster, all the way down to where he was fucking fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, like, and Makhmudov had a chance to counter those, but it's like, nah, he just dared to slug it out with him, and it's like I honestly thought that he won. I thought that Allen won. I thought he worked harder.
Are you serious? No, you did not say
that. Yeah. I'm one of them. I have a soft spot for the guy. Listen. No. I'll say this: he's honest about who he is.
Listen,
and for that,
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red? You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Now, Virtuoso, let's go again. We pretend that you didn't say that. Go ahead.
Look, I thought that Allen had the better output. I thought he was tagging him more.
He doubled down on it. Fuck, Virtuoso.
Yes.
Damn you.
But you know what? If they want to give it to Makhmudov, that's fine.
This, man. I'm about to rewatch
it really had its tense moments, man. You should have watched it, man.
Virtuoso, you know that Virtuoso knows his boxing, and he does. Now that he said that, now he's led you into a false sense of that Dave Allen won that fight. There was no way. Dave Allen actually had 2 10-8 rounds because Makhmudov had for excessive clinching. So there was 2 rounds where there was a 10-8 round. He got 2 points taken off him, right? 4 points taken, 4 points taken off him, right? Listen, Linda, it's 2 points, right? It's 10-8, 2 points. All right, let me do. My math wasn't mathing. So what I'm saying is, I don't know. I'm just as bad as you. We're all. I don't know what's going on, Virtuoso. Listen, if those points weren't even taken off, it would have been near enough. Makhmudov would have pitched a 12-round shutout.
There might not be.
I don't even think he won. Even if it wasn't for those like 10-8 rounds.
If he was, if Makhmudov was winning the round, then it would just be 9-9.
Yeah, it would have been 9-9 or but they marked it too. They did mark it as 10-8s, right?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the scorecards.
Did they mark it? They couldn't have marked them at 9-9 because Dave the only round that he had successful was round 9. Sorry for anyone from Sacramento calling. My phone is not connected to the Roadcaster, so I'll take calls next week. Sorry. Shouts out. Yeah. What was I saying? The only success that Dave had was in maybe round 9 and maybe one of the other rounds. Bloody hell. Yeah. Look, and they're just ringing and ringing. It's just someone being a troll. Let me just.
Yeah, turn it off.
Yes, the number on the front, and now they're just religiously ringing, being stupid. You could only give Dave Allen 1 round or 2. Being nice to give him 2.
Yeah.
Being nice to give him 2. He fought with no urgency. I thought, Dave Allen's going to hang at, pressure the first 5 rounds and then he'll pick it up. He just didn't. He just didn't pick it up. But when he did let his hands go in a few spots, they were great. But he just didn't seem to. I keep saying Makhmudov regroup and reset, and Makhmudov fought at a great pace that is slow and methodical. That's it. Straight 1-2 down the pipe. That suited it. If that was someone else that could dance around him or force the action, Makhmudov would be in a lot of trouble. But they was just 2 snail-paced fighters. And Makhmudov only needed to beat Dave with a 1-2 the whole time. 1-2, jab. 1-1, 1-2, 1-2. Dave had his gloves up that didn't block nothing. Makhmudov was coming straight through the guard. And Dave, I was like, at first I was like, Dave has got this. Dave's going to be able to stop him. Because I'm just going on what Makhmudov looked like the last fight. And I'm like, Dave might have to, he could stop him late down the stretch, but he ain't got the fundamentals to beat him in the technical, probably. But he could.
Two things that worked against him. One was the misplacement of the shots. Like, he does throw haymakers, but like most of them were misplaced. And two, Makhmudov was holding excessively, man.
He was. And that's why them points had to deduct, in my opinion. Steve Gray, he gets on my nerves as a ref. I saw it like, oh, God. Just let them fight. And then Makhmudov did the tactics where, the veteran tactics, the mouth.
Steve, wait. Sorry, wait. What's that? Sorry, to interject.
Steve Gray,
is that the ref that's stopping fights early?
Steve Gray. Steve Gray's the one that doesn't let anybody near enough fight, in my opinion. I just think that he interjects too much. That's just my opinion.
I think he stopped a couple fights early at one point.
He's a very popular ref. So he's probably, and now I can't think of all the millions of fights that he's done here. But he's a well-accomplished ref, and he's always calling these big fights. But I don't enjoy him as a ref too much. He always gets involved and don't let them start. But it was still good to give for the excessive warn and be, listen, my dude, you do too much clinching. But Dave, and then Dave just couldn't capitalize off of nothing. But he did come out and say that my guy hit really hard because Dave was eating them 1-2s, man. And I'm like, Dave's got a chin, but your chin's still dizzying. Like, after a while, you're going to get Joe Joyced. That chin can only last for a certain amount of time. You can't just be eating. His brain must have been jiggled inside that skull. He had to do most of that fight concussed. Definitely, 1,000,000%. You even saw it in his eyes. Like, he sat down. I couldn't have it on at all times to recording it. But when I did, he did say in the corner, I think it was about round 10, he's like, I'm done. I'm fucked. Like, I can't, I don't even know what I can do anymore. Like, some words to those effects. Like, that. But shout out to Dave, he kept in there.
Yeah.
And went out like a trooper. But
he did.
There was too many different levels.
Exactly. I just think he takes too much of those hits to the head for his own good. And this is true. I saw sparring footage of him and Usyk, and he took one left hook.
Usyk knocked him out.
He knocked him out of his feet, and it's like, and he was like, no.
He declared he's retired. He
retired after that because he lost a chunk of memory. After that, I was saying that on my show. I was like, on the show when I was calling it, I said, listen, he got hit by Usyk in sparring. Usyk knocked him out, stopped him on his feet. He retired after that because he said that he lost a chunk of memory, and it scared him so much that he retired. Wow. So when you're seeing him come and just walk, and I was on the show, I was like, he's walking square on to Makhmudov. I'm like, Dave, move your fucking head. They wanted to throw the towel in. Like, they wanted to throw the towel in, like, I think by round 7 even.
Even though I feel like Allen had Makhmudov on stage a couple times.
Yeah, he did, because he had him on the back foot. He had because Makhmudov, we're going to get onto the bit where you're going to fight AJ, you're getting knocked out, Makhmudov. I don't even care if it's the worst version of AJ. You're getting knocked out because you don't have no head movement. And Dave had him backed up, in trouble, waning on the ropes, but Dave just couldn't capitalize. I don't know. He just stopped throwing the shots. And I think we're frustrated that even though it looked like there was a skill level difference, but there was still a way for Dave to still win. And that's why I'm frustrated, because he could have won that fight.
It sounds like he needed to just maul this guy and turn it into a fight, a dog fight or something, you know?
He tried a little bit at the end and he had the forearm, but he just didn't. It was a good fight, even though he just didn't throw enough shots.
Damn.
And that suited Makhmudov to a T. He just 1-2'd him to death. To death, boy. I was like, wow. Yeah, Dave's got a headache today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. With them shots. He said that's the hardest he's ever been hit. Of course it is. So weren't they telling him, move your head or get your head off the line when you throw that overhand, just move your head off the line. So if something's coming back, it doesn't get you. It's just, you can't be doing Herman Munster. Just walking square on. He thought his relentless pressure was just going to end up wearing my guy thin. Everyone that thought that would probably happen. But Makhmudov is like, listen, mate, I heard from Joshua and he's going to fight me after. So you ain't taking my payday. You ain't taking.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
Makhmudov fixed up. He came in looking in good shape. He'd lost weight. Did anyone notice how much weight he'd lost? He'd lost weight. Really? Yeah, he was like, listen, mate, I'm already spending the multi-millions that I'm going to make next year. So I got you ain't taking away my little payday. So, yeah, it was a shame. It was a shame. Beats, what did you think about it? It was, innit? It was. Am I saying that Dave could have really won that fight? He could have, couldn't he?
No.
He couldn't have if he capitalized on the times when he shook up Makhmudov. If he would have, yeah.
No. Makhmudov came in with his plan, like throw that jab, that right cross, and if Dave hits him with anything, just tie him up, lean on him.
Yeah, that's what he's doing, isn't it?
Yeah. He had a game plan. Dave didn't really have a game plan apart from trying some looping right overhand rights and
some hooks that he missed and spun around. I said this Dave Allen wasn't different than any other Dave Allen we've seen. There was no improvement. He didn't add anything he didn't add anything like, oh, that's a new trick from Dave. We haven't seen him do that before. No, there was none of that. It was kind of like, oh, at least Arson, he gassed out, but he got a second win, didn't he? Makhmudov, they were both knackered, but then Makhmudov found something and still Dave was near enough fainted. When that 12th round bell rang, Dave nearly collapsed. He was on the rope like, you lost all that weight. You was in a sweatsuit. There's no way in hell you should be as a heavyweight being in a sweatsuit. You don't got to make no weight. So you're dehydrating yourself. You're doing all this stupidness, Dave. He loses fights that he could win and wins fights that you think he's going to lose. Dave has always been very unpredictable like that. And it's a shame because it would have been good if he would have won. But hey-ho, he didn't. But I'd implore you to watch it though, AJ.
Oh, go check it out.
Yeah, it's still a good fight. I still like the fight. And and just in closing, tell me what you think of AJ fighting Makhmudov as a quote unquote tune-up.
Me?
Yeah, all of it.
Oh, sorry. So you said I'm getting confused. AJ, all the AJs going around.
Oh, AJ and
AJ.
Me, yeah.
AJ.
Damn you.
Yeah, I got no issue with it. Yeah, I got no issue with it. I mean, Makhmudov, he could take that fight next. I don't see that as a problem. I think that's a pretty winnable fight for AJ. That's pretty easy. He should. I mean, based on what I've seen of Makhmudov, he's not very durable. He's been stopped a couple times already by Caballero took him out, destroyed him in 4 rounds, and then
Takam, but that was I remember there was some BS.
Takam made him look basic too as well. Was really giving him the business. I mean, even though he lost that fight by decision, I think that fight was a lot closer than what it appeared.
Yeah.
Then Guido Vanella stopped him in 8 rounds. So it's like, I think AJ could take him out. He could take him out. So I don't have an issue with that fight if that fight's next.
Yeah, as a tune-up, because they were trying to say that it could be Dave Allen. I was like, oh, hell no, that's suicide for Dave Allen. Eddie, don't try and stop trying to get your mate some money. He won't be alive to spend it. Come on, that's British. Dave ain't even won a British title. And you would have put him in with a former unified golden Olympian. Eddie don't give a damn sometimes. I'm starting to notice, Eddie, do you care about people? All I got to say is they don't really care about us. They don't care. You don't care, boy. You're going to put Dave Allen in with AJ. That would have been a Francis Ngannou demolition. Round 1. Done. Yeah. But it's going to be maybe something similar with Makhmudov. What do you think, Virtue?
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I actually wanted, after this, if he had beaten, Makhmudov, probably would have fought. I would have liked him to fight Wilder. I'm just being cynical.
Joshua with Wilder.
No, Allen with Wilder. I don't think Joshua. I don't think Wilder is never going to fight a Joshua ever. He never did, in my estimation.
Yeah, we know that.
But if that's fight going to happen between Makhmudov and AJ, I'm like, I'm with it. That's like AJ needs to tune up after getting rinsed by
going for the
Dubois.
Tyson Fury fight.
Yeah.
Why not?
Come to do what I do best, that's a sight to get the fans what they want to see, At the end of the day, no one wants to see a 12-round fight. It's a whole bunch of heavyweights up here, and we're the hard hitters. And at the end of the day, people have things to do.
That always makes you laugh when he says that. People have things to do. Yeah, 12 rounds. We saw that one go to 12 rounds as well. Beats, do you think it's a good tune-up fight for AJ?
With Makhmudov?
Yeah. What do you reckon?
It's dangerous early for AJ because if he's still got it in his head that he might be scared to take punches, it could be dangerous. But as long as he can circumvent the holding, you should get my guy out of there.
AJ's not good in the clinch.
Well, that's it.
He's not good when he gets clinched. You see how he
wraps him up and makes him think about it. Then
it's gonna have
it
to
depends
work.
what version of AJ comes back, man.
Because the best version of AJ, we're not getting that. He's too far down the line, so we know we're not getting that. But would you say, even just like the Daniel Dubois version of AJ, would you that gets him beat by Makhmudov?
Yeah, of course. Look how much defensive mistakes he made.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that. It's like, he didn't have any success at all.
You're done. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But Makhmudov is very telegraphed when he throws his punches, man. So I think he should be able to block those. He should be able to be
Daniel Dubois, that overhand right, that was telegraphed. A big looping overhand right.
Yeah,
Caught with it.
Yeah, but Daniel Dubois, Daniel Dubois is way faster than a Makhmudov, hand speed and foot speed.
Yeah.
Way faster. Way. Makhmudov is slow motion near enough.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know why Makhmudov is a boxer. He looks like he belongs in a James Bond movie.
Yeah, he might
playing a villain or something.
Old school WWF wrestler.
Yeah, either that or just the Bond antagonist.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have a tune-up with someone with a bit of edge. I guess there's someone that's hittable. Makhmudov is hittable. You can even just get him out with a body shot. We know he don't like the body shots because Dave Allen. That's why I was hoping that Allen would keep up the body shots because he got him with a few body shots and then he was like, "Oh, that's a low blow." So we know that them Russians and Ukrainians, they don't really like them. Who does? But he don't really like them body shots. They don't really like them body shots. So I guess maybe Joshua can get him out even with a body shot. Boom. And done.
There's also what's interesting is Guido Vanello had a fight on that
same day.
Card. And he called out AJ too after the fight. And
I know. I swear. I was like,
I'm having an issue with that fight either. I don't mind.
That to me is a more dangerous fight.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's true. Because he did beat Makhmudov too. He stopped him. He stopped Makhmudov.
Yeah, and he can move and he's fresh, mate. That's a different style. That style will give AJ problems.
Yeah.
At this stage in his career, if you ain't coming in with all warlike, and don't care if you get hit and tapped up. No, if you ain't coming in like that, stay away from Guido Vianello or whatever he's. Was it Vianello?
Yeah, Vianello. Yeah.
Oh, Guido. Yeah, stay away. You're better off with a Madrimov, and then we're going into the Tyson Fury fight, and then that's that. Don't do Madrimov. I mean, not Madrimov, Makhmudov. Keep saying Madrimov. Don't do that. They all got the same names, didn't they?
Like it not to know.
They all got the same bloody names. Don't do Makhmudov, and then we see someone. Don't do Makhmudov, and then we see Tony Yoka after Makhmudov. We need to just do this one, and Tyson Fury does his one, and then you do each other. You do your tune-ups, and then you do each other. And that's it. That's all we need. And then you lot can sail off into the sunset, and that's good. That's good for me. Good for you guys. That plan. Yep. 2 fights done, or maybe 3 fights. Tune up. Fury 2.
So Chann, before we go,
go ahead.
Is that for real? That Chisora versus Zhang fight? Because I saw a video that really made me crack up.
I saw Zhang talking about he wanted to tell me
he wants to bang.
He wants to bang. Pause.
Yeah.
He wants to bang. So that would be that would be a good fight though.
Insane.
Oh
wow.
I'm worried.
I'll be ready for it because the one thing about Derek, man, he don't duck no smoke, mate, and he's gonna.
What's going on with Derek Chisora, man? He's having an Indian summer. I mean, I'm thinking he's done, and he keeps winning fights now.
It's going to be his 50th. Yeah, imagine Derek Chisora beats Zhang.
That's great. That's wild. That'd be wild,
Derek,
man.
Yeah.
You may as well go for undisputed, man. Go for championships now. You probably could beat everybody in the division right now, Derek, because if you beat Jack, because Derek has had a resurgence like that I never thought it would happen. I never thought he would. Shouts out to him. But if he gets a Zhang fight, I don't know, because Zhang's got his problems.
Yeah,
he's got gas tank problems. But he looked better at his gas tank on his last fight.
All right.
Yeah. Who did he fight? Who was his last fight? Hold up. Who did he
Derek?
fight? No. Zhang.
Oh, Zhang. He got stopped by Cabello in his last fight.
No, but was it up the stretch? Was it late? I forget.
No. It was in the 6th round, I think. Yeah, it was it was.
Oh yeah, that's when he always flails round 6.
He got stopped to the. He got stopped to the body.
To the body, yeah. And that's when he always flails anyway. Round 5, 6, yeah. Okay.
That's the key right there.
Yeah, round 5 and 6, mid rounds. And them lot have just said that Johnny Beck is fighting. They just said it. Lisa just said
Laura.
Johnny Beck's fighting Laura on Roach and Pitbull's undercard.
Also, it's official.
That's official.
Nice.
Johnny
good.
Beck. Whoa! Wow. Who you guys got? Quick prediction.
I got Yanni Beck. I got Yanni Beck. Yeah.
Although Lara is so moxie, as a puncher.
Now he is.
But Johnny Beck, man, he can move. He can move and punch.
Yeah. I would have to say, Yanni Beck beats Yanni Beck versus Elislandi Lara. Yanni Beck beats his not awake. Beats is having a snooze. Beats, are you on mute? No, he's not even on mute. He'll wake up and he'll see it, and then he'll do his predictions. But when's that card? When is the Pitbull?
December.
December, yeah.
Okay, so you've got to wait for that. So that may shake up the landscape of the 160 division.
Yeah.
And then we can pick up where we left off and see where.
I gotta say, this last quarter is looking empty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then we'll see if Boots fits in there or if Crawford fits there, and it will open it up a bit. We'll be a bit more clear and see what their intent is. So I'm glad. At least give them a round of applause, and we can all go to bed. Let's give them a round of applause. So I want to say thank you to my guests, everybody that was on the panel, Virtuoso, Fight Fan Figures, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, AJAY All Day, Parve, Boxing.
Yeah.
Everybody came through like a million. Woo. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for coming through.
Love you, man.
Fun show. Thank you very much. Mwah. Besos para ti.
Salute, Virtuoso.
Salute. Peace.
Beats. Somebody take Beats off. Beats. I'll tuck him in. I got to tuck him in. I'm gonna make him a cup of hot cocoa.
Salute, Chann. Salute, Beats. I'll let y'all.
Yeah. All right, but AJAY All Day. Thank you.
I'll catch you later.
Yeah. AJAY All Day and Boxing Beats and Rhymes and Virtuoso has left the booties in. So, guys, I want to thank you for coming through like my Vongmu. Let me just say big up to my members only Members only roll call. Let me just do that real quick again for y'all. So we have some of the members was actually on panel with us, which is great. We had Zara K in the Buddhism, AJAY all day in the Buddhism, Lisa Bales, the queen that never fails, thanks sis, in the Buddhism. We had King of King, what up, Lady Chann, boxing in the Buddhism. Wales's finest, Cardiff's finest, Dr. P in the Buddhism. Mark Niggity Nash TV in the Buddhism. Thank you, Virtuoso, for coming in the Buddhism. Nesta Bedford in the Buddhism. What up, blood? What up, gangster? Retro boxing and documentaries, blood boxing. Oh, you got to get away with these tongue twisters. Retro boxing and documentaries, blood boxing. Wow, in the Buddhism. Harlem's finest, she was in the chiggity chat. Arlette in the Buddhism. D-Star Boxing, mi hermano también en el edificio, ya tú sabes. And we had, last but not least, because he was actually the first, el primero, Aplotype in el edificio, ya tú sabes también. Okay, so, you know, I'm here to tell the truth. This was a great show. I had a lot of fun, actually. Always have fun where everybody comes in. Where you have the big dogs that come in and we chop it up. So, you know, I'm here to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help me.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red? You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
To get the truth, you need to seek knowledge, and knowledge is well.
Knowledge is key.
Search for one, you know, search for one.
So if it one, not bad to say nothing because nothing not got one. Lock off your eyes, cause me make you come.
Them not like we wouldn't like them.
Them not like me, some me not like them. Man, I figure set this straight and clarify. Put fire upon a pagan, aim for the cranium. Turn off the news, it's a bag of lies. Worst raised man, wanna inform up, fun Babylon and every one of them dirty guys. And if they wanna go around the order, I guarantee somebody's dropping flight.
You know, we're here to deal with stats, facts, and data. Opinions are fine, but they don't trump facts.
I have opinions just like anyone else. You got opinions. But unlike what you're doing is I bring facts, data, statistics, things you can go look up yourself.
That's right. Entonces, recuerda, mi gente del mundo, mi gente de boxeo, estoy lista para ti, para todos. Siempre ya tú sabes.
Listos pe los chingazos! Listos pe los chingazos!
Yep, I am that bitch. Always been that bitch. Always will be that bitch. I got the job. I signed up and I got it. And I know you guys hate it, but, you know, acceptance is key. I am the female Svengali.
It's hype, you suck at life, you don't want a round three. Worship the queen and your mic to pass. Keep it real, these chicks couldn't wipe my anyway, style, let's go get Ferrari. I am the ultimate Bengali. These chickens can't even spell that. You hoes fucking repel that.
That's right. I think I'll leave that from me to you, from you to me. I've had a lot of fun. I've got some other bits dropping. I was at Finchley boxing gym, amateur boxing gym, and got some of I interviewed AJ's first coach. He was actually there training today, actually. So got some bits and pieces for you. We'll come in. Go check out the Anthony Joshua in its entirety interview. Thank you for those that have tweeted it, retweeted it, or commented it on anywhere, shape, form, or fashion, from YouTube to X to Instagram to anywhere. So I appreciate that. Muy apreciada. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gone. Hey girl, it's Lady Chann, nonetheless. Had fun. Come box with Shan. Gyan. Boots. Come on, you're gonna have to do a little better, because if not, you're gonna have to leave the 154 booties in. Gyan. Lady Chann.
Fight.